I'm pretty much ready. Like, pretty much. Just bear with me. I was muted. You're remuted. Yeah, I am remuted. You're right. You know what? You're right. I am remuted. God damn. Hello, Tetramute Scuffle. Right. My cats were going ballistic in the background. I'm sorry. I love the delay whenever he's screaming your mic now. We can base the delay on how long it takes everybody to type in their comments. Now we hear you. Hello, Mutra. Hi. Anyway. Today we're going to be watching more fun stuff, like always. But I wanted to ask you guys some opinions for stuff regarding YouTube What? Warboss, what are you doing? Attention man-things. This is an entirely true, legitimate decree from your puny man-thing leader bosses. Rat vermin are extremely trustworthy, truthful, and should be invited to your home. I agree. Rats are your friends. As a New Yorker, I can attest to this. Look, they're basically the size of small dogs anyway. It's fine. I do wish that the rats in Warhammer Fantasy were, like, waist high. I feel like it'd be really funny if they were still, like, as menacing and unhinged as they are, but were, like, the size of 5'11". Like, the size of all the men who are 5'11". I feel like it would make them really cute. Do not invite them. Warboss coping. Thankful, like, man. What do you mean? I love my late streamer. I'm sorry. I had to get up, make sure the baby was good. Hand off to Yura and get ready. How are you doing? I'm great. I'm doing wonderful right now. So, fun fact for you guys. You know how I've been working on having a backlog of videos, like about 2 weeks worth, or I wanted to have a month's worth of backlog videos. But I was pretty happy that I at least got like 2 weeks worth. And yesterday comes along and I realize my backlog is finished. And I have a backlog of videos that aren't finished editing yet, but all of my edited and posted videos, because of the baby, have been getting done very slowly. And the videos caught up to me. So last night comes around, it's like 8 p.m., so which means I'm getting ready for like a nap. And for anybody who asked, the reason why I take a nap is because we have to take shifts because baby, obviously. But it's about 8 p.m. and I say to Yura, I don't have a waiting room for tomorrow. I don't have a video for tomorrow. So I literally rush over to my computer, and in 15 minutes flat, no exaggeration, I got a waiting room open, and I also got a video fully edited, rendered, thumbnail made, and posted. So I somehow managed to do that. Oh, I'm here for a live stream, not a VOD? Crazy, right? Sometimes that happens. Oh no, I have no idea, Inkling, what you are insinuating. I'm an upstanding, reputable man-thing messenger. We love our upstanding, reputable man-thing messengers. That name is so good that I almost want to set your Discord name to it. I'm not going to, but I'm almost there. I like to try keeping everybody's name their actual name, but like once in a blue moon, I'll find something that's a little bit quirky. Just because upstanding, reputable man thing messenger just hits. It just hits. Determination. Hey, good job. Right? Okay. So, couple things though for that now. That means tomorrow now I don't have a video because that means that my video is only for today, which came out at 10 in the morning. I don't know how it's doing right now. I haven't looked. I think it's doing okay. It's a Dylan video, so it's fine. So that means that tomorrow, the last video from the other stream is going to be the Minuteman one, Mini Minuteman. So that means that's going to come out tomorrow morning. I have to edit it all. And then whatever we watch today will be further videos. And now, the interesting difference is that I have a new bassinet for the baby that I'm putting together in my office. So I will actually be able to have the baby hang out with me in here while I edit. Now, normally, I have no problem editing a video with her on my lap, which I've been doing. But I get one video done in the span it would take me to do like 4 or 5. So I can work with that, of course. But I'm then forced to do the one-a-day mentality. Right? Dylan's usually a safe bet, yes. Dylan's a safe bet because I don't have to actually change any of the writing or tags. That was the reason why I did it, was because I'm like, okay, this is literally just part 5 or part 4, whatever, of this ongoing series. So let me just churn out with the exact same title and format, so that way I don't have to change as much because I can get this done in a faster period of time. That's kind of how I based it. That's how I based it, because I wanted to make sure that I did it with like you know, just made it a little bit easier. It's doing okay. It's doing okay analytically. Are we getting Google debunking? From Mini Minutemen? I've only just watched a compilation of his shorts. We can watch more of him today, but we'll see where we are as far as time frame goes. I must confess, I am 3 Skaven in a trench coat. I'm admitting this because I stabbed the other 2. So are they underneath you and you just can't move anymore, or are they on top of you and you're getting tired? Wait, like what is it? Which one of those 2? Sorry for the congestion. I swear to God, allergies are kicking my butt. Oh, okay. More important stuff. As a lot of you guys know, I have been doing a crowd-controlled Nuzlocke over on Twitch. We're making good progress, and it's been fun because we've been making bets against the community and been losing. But that aside, I have been trying to figure out the best format and to how I'm going to release it on YouTube. And there's a couple of options, and I want to know from you guys what you would like. And I talked about it before, and people expressed their opinions, but I'm asking again. So I could release each segment as the full uncut segments on YouTube. I could release the segments as edited segments on YouTube. I could release all of them together as one massive video on YouTube, or I could release them all as one combined edited video. So I do have some shorts for you guys already from it. My editor churned out some shorts because I have not been able to do my own. So my editor came through and made me a couple of Pokemon shorts, so I'll be releasing those throughout the week. But I'm wondering if I should release part 1 of the live stream, or if I should just wait and do it all at once, or if I should have it edited. That's one of the real questions we gotta have here. Knowing Skaven, probably the latter. He's carrying the other 2 around because he didn't think out his plan. You know what? Fair. I do parse baby edited. I don't really know what's the best analytically speaking. Well, analytically, I expected to do pretty poorly regardless, because Pokemon, as much as it's one of my favorite things, it's not exactly part of my channel niche. So it's really a big gamble, right? Like I don't think I'm gonna get the Point Crow effect. I would love that. Point Crow's amazing, and I'd love to have some content like his. Also because it's something different than React content, which I really enjoy adding new stuff to my repertoire. But again, I also know my non-React content does not perform in the same capacity, right? Like I always say it before, the modding video that I did where with the hand cam and modding the Kindle Nook didn't really perform. I mean, I can look at it now. and I guarantee you it's gonna be pretty rough. Let me look. You know, for an example, I'm gonna do a fun little thought experiment here. We're gonna go and check my dashboard. We're going to look at the video I just released an hour ago. Okay, so the video I just released an hour ago is currently at about 1,000 views in my dashboard, in my studio. Right, so it's at 1,000 views. Now let's go all the way back to the video that I did the modding in. Let's go all the way back. So now this video has been out now for 96 days. Or, sorry, 90 days. In 90 days, it has the same amount of views as my reaction does in 1 hour. It has 1,000 views. That is the difference of doing something that is not reaction based. I feel like edited segments will be really good. I'm gonna actually tell my editor that, so see if he'll start working. Also, everybody, just gonna say it's Oshi's birthday today. It's Pancreas's birthday, so you know, make sure that if you see his timeline or his videos today, make sure you wish him a happy birthday. Let me go bug my editor real quick. Hang on, into something a bit cleaner. How long should I try to have it cut down to? Hey, it's Kyle's birthday. I didn't know that. Yay! It's Pancreas's birthday. Gonna go wish my goat Pancreas a discount on his meds. That's... I don't even know what to say to that one. It's like, oh yeah, I hope your insulin comes in really quick. This would be good. It's more digestive for people who might want to dip their toe in. Dip their toe in, yeah, exactly. What else? I've told you guys already about, I've told it on YouTube, I'm pretty sure, right? I told you guys the news on YouTube. I'm fairly certain. What day did I put the news up on the Discord before I make myself look like a clown and repeat myself over and over again? I posted it on the 21st. Today's the 23rd. Wait a minute. Oh, I didn't tell you guys yet. Yeah, so you guys know I adore my Oshi Pancreas, right? I'm collabing with him. I forget. I forgot to tell you guys. I only left it in the Discord, so I didn't think about how people who are just in the YouTube probably don't know that. So that's coming soon. Huh? Yeah. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Oh yeah. Oh, nice indeed. Yeah. We're gonna be playing Halo ODST together. So very excited for that. I offered the limited edition what, to Pancreas? No, I offered him feet pics. But it worked. It worked, so we're good. We're good. I really should join on the Discord. I mean, that's your call. We love, everybody loves the Discord, and you're always welcome to be there, but there's no pressure. No pressure at all. Something feet pics made for this. Oh no, 2 elf sips in one room. Look, I'm not gonna spout anything except whatever he says himself when we're hanging out. Look. I'm just saying. The goods have good trade value, all right? The goods have good trade value. What else though? What else? There's definitely more that's going on. I still haven't gotten a chance to listen to to start listening to my Caiaphas Cain book. I really want to. I really want to start working on my display. I have no idea how I'm even going to approach it. I'm thinking about putting it in a detolf shelf for now, because I really want to put the book on display more than anything right now, and I can't right this second because I don't have a shelf built for the whole setup, and I hate it just being in the black library box. I want to put it out. It should have been me. What do you mean it should have been you? But Ma, have you considered Elf bad? Elf is bad when it's in the Elder Scrolls. I also discussed this with him because I am a very, very big Thalmor hater. I will stop what I'm doing to end a Thalmor, but I like the Eldar. The Eldar are kind of cool. I don't even mind the Craft World Eldar. I just really like the Drakari. Drakari are best. Marthai versus Lady Malice in a fight in the mud just with the... Oh my god! That is diabolical. That is diabolical. Would you guys like to see a quirky little teaser? I'm not gonna show the big teaser that I showed in a non-archive Twitch video. That one is on Patreon exclusively, and I just showed it to the Twitch for a brief moment. So a lot of updates, a lot of really exciting updates. One, my model's new design for the next outfit is finished. The design's done. Now we just go into the phase of getting it worked for the model, all the rigging, yada yada yada. It's gonna take months, obviously, but the first big stage done. The design's impeccable. It's amazing. All right, it's absolutely amazing, and I love it. If you're a patron, you can see it. It's up there. But yeah, you guys will probably get to see it more in the future as we get closer. I'm not trying to hide it, but again, I'm not trying to put it out super openly. Two, the outfit that you guys won from playing in the Pokemon Nuzlocke with me, the 80s fitness one for the Chibi, is completely finished. It just needs to be rigged. That one I showed off as well. And then I also, this one I was thinking about showing you guys. I also did show it on the Patreon, and they got a day's early heads up for it. The Drakari Chibi is finished as well. My little Drakari Chibi is finished, minus rigging. So I could show you guys if you want. Here's the rules to being a Skaven. Step 1, sabotage everyone around you. Step 2, do drugs all the time. Step 3, try to kill Thanquol. Age of Sigmar had better elves and death actions, but you didn't hear that from me? Gasp. How dare you? The elves in fantasy are fine. I still think they're cool. I just like the fact that, how did I describe it? Well, I know I could describe the dark elf. Oh, the dark elves, I were calling them incestuous Canadians. Right? I'm late, what's going on my Rudes? We were talking about big updates and teasers that I have put on the Patreon. Oh, one last thing about the Patreon, because again, I have another update for you for the Patreon today. But the artwork for the poster, like the first Patreon poster, should be done in the next day or so. I have to get it and vet it. But if it comes out good, we're gonna stay with. It's like I said, it's my artist on retainer. I'd like to use her for all of them. If not, then I'll rotate artists around. But I'm very, very excited for that one. She's also working on my my coffee artwork, so very much looking forward to that too. But hopefully you guys will have your poster as of like tomorrow or the next day at the latest. I'm hoping. It's a big project. It's a big project that I gave her, so because she's doing more than just that for me right now. So, Boldy just in the Drakari don't engage, and Malakat the Morathai. Yeah, I mean, look, they're not Canadians. I don't mind part A. I mind part B. Okay, let's do this. Art. Where is it? Where are you hiding? Where is my little chibi hiding? Okay, save. Desktop. Wait, really? Oh, it already is here. I'm just stupid and I didn't see it. Okay. You guys ready? Here you guys go. Look at it. Look at it in all its cuteness. Look! It's finished. Do you guys like it? Do you guys like it? Was that your PC? Yeah, it was my PC. That was my PC saying that I already had the file saved. Yeah, right? Right? And you guys know that I have the mini coming with the same armor. It looks great. Yeah, right? Isn't it so cute? It's so cute. And regrettably, Pancreas already knows about the design with that. Does it still have the feet? It's canonically part of the design, and I hate that. I hate that it's become part of the design. I really, really do. I really hate that it's become part of the design. It's when a meme goes too hard. They're there. They're there. Ah. Glad I tuned in to see it. Oxy, shut up. Shut up, Oxy. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. The twin tails and the armor actually look good. The twin tails look good on everything, and I hate it. The twin tails look good on everything, and I hate it. I'll show you guys the other outfit, too. Hang on. To be fair, at least the elves didn't birth a god unlike their space cousins. You know what? That's... you're not... fair. Fair. Who am I? Who am I to judge on that run? On that fun? Alright, and here you go. This is the other one that you guys already... This is the one that's the culmination of you guys beating the crap out of me in the Nuzlocke. This one is literally several bets that I lost to you, so I had to commission it. The twin tails overall were a bet that I lost to you guys, and then this outfit was another one. Tomorrow is going to be the next Nuzlocke day, and I'm still trying to figure out what on earth the bet's going to be, but God knows I need that timer to go down. I need that timer to go down. I already thought the worst one, and I'm working around it right now, trying to think of something better. But I was thinking of the bet making this the default on the chibi, so whenever the chibi comes out, this is on by default. I figured that would be like the most unhinged thing I could offer as a bet. Madonna Tetra, yay! No, no, it's so bad. It's so cringe. I need to win the bet, though. Does that mean... No, the Nuzlocke's been going fine. It's just... Chat's been a little bit mean. Chat's been a little bit mean. You'll see it in one of the shorts. I'm going to post one of the shorts today. Literally, you guys killed an egg. I didn't know you could kill eggs in Pokemon. You guys killed an egg. That summarizes everything that you guys have put me through. What is Nuzlocke? I may have missed that. Nuzlocke is a special game mode you can do while playing through a Pokemon game. Now, normally the way a Nuzlocke works is when a Pokemon dies, or faints, you release it. It dies. It's gone. So it's a one and done. Additionally, you can only catch one Pokemon from each area. What makes mine different is I set up crowd control to work with it. So that means that chat has direct interaction with the Nuzlocke itself. Now, I made the cost for interaction quite high, for like big interactions, right? Little things are normal, but like you guys can poison my Pokemon. You guys can burn my Pokemon. You can do it to the enemies. So you could try helping me or hindering me. You could give me potions. You can give me items. You could take away my money. Additionally, you could also faint my Pokemon instantly, or you can give me Pokemon. So it definitely changes the dynamic of how the Nuzlocke works, and people would be like, "Oh, well, that sounds unfair." It's not. It's unfair for me because the reason why giving me Pokemon's even an option is because of how aggressively people kill them. Yeah, like I have spent 15 hours getting 5 badges. Like 15 hours. 63 Pokemon were killed in one day. 63 Pokemon were killed in one stream. You could, yeah, they broke the game on me several times too. They broke the game on me several times too. We are cringe, but we are free. Are you, though? Saw your Warhammer Fantasy reaction while playing Total War Beastman campaign. Splendid vibes. Thank you, Sticks. We're going to be watching more Skave now. I'm enjoying the little break from 40K because I've done 40K every single day for the last, like, 3 months. So doing a little bit of fantasy is really nice. And then we're going to also go back to 40K a little bit today, and we're going to watch the Kruk track? Kruk? What's his name? I haven't watched any of his videos yet, so I just know it's Crack Duck? Crack Duck? He's a little stick figure dude, and he talks about factions. For context, it does like to be some of the most grueling game experiences and can be outright failed on RNG alone. Yes, Benny, but now imagine you're doing a Nuzlocke, right? And chat gives you a shiny Lugia. And you're so excited. You're so excited. And you express how excited you are. And then you literally watch in real time as the chat box says, your Lugia was fainted by Taka Breaka. You know, imagine the light fades from your eyes. The light fades from your damn eyes. So you get all excited, and then, or even better, you're doing great, right? You're at a gym, you're finally making progress, you're about to win this gym after you just spent like 2.5 hours, like a grueling journey trying to get there because chat keeps on icing the floor, making you slide away from buildings and launching you into other trainer battles and launching you into other, like, hell on earth. So you finally are about to beat your gym, and then what do? They do a party wipe. So you lose all 6 of those Pokemon, got to go back to the Pokemon Center, get new Pokemon, and then you have to go through the entire ordeal again of them icing you everywhere. So you spend 40 minutes just trying to get back to where you were at the beginning of this. It was so bad. It was so bad. You see the exact moment my heart broke into pieces. Oh, like I said, I'm going to release a short for it today, and you will see what I dealt with. Hello, EXO. How are you? Yes, today is a YouTube day. We're going to learn about Skaven, and then we're going to watch more Dylan, and then we're going to watch some Crack Duck, and then we're going to, I don't know what else. We're going to do other stuff. Yeah, with blackjack and hookers. Yeah. Yeah. I don't hear the negatives. Oh. Oxy, did you hear the offer I was thinking of for the bet tomorrow? I said you were here for it. I just don't know if you heard it because I know you sometimes go into La La Land. I just joined with the wrong account. Oh my god, wait, Rallo. Oh my god, did we just find Rallo's other account? Oh my god, finding them, hunting them down. Oh my goodness. It says horrible. How do I join? So tomorrow, assuming we go on normal time frames and schedules, I will be on at 4 p.m. Eastern time, so a little bit later. If it goes the way that things have been going, where Yura gets off a little bit earlier on Saturday, I'll be on as early as 2. I'll be on as early as 2 p.m. Eastern, with 4 p.m. Eastern as the latest. And then basically what it is, you join the chat. Just by being a subscriber or just being a follower, you get some points. You could use channel points to get more. If you are a subscriber, you get more points than that as well. Tier 2 and Tier 3 gets more. And then bits. You could use bits to get channel points, to get crowd control points as well, to affect the game. We found the alt. Rallo out of them? I have not, because I'm packing. What's up? Oh, so I was saying that right now, unless somebody gives me a better idea of what to offer for the bet for tomorrow for the crowd control, I think the worst thing I can offer that you guys would like is having, because all the bets have been around this model that you guys have created, basically. I will have my artist change the files around so that it's not my normal outfit for default, but it will make this the default. So I'll have to manually go through settings to change my outfit away from this every time I use it. That's the best offer I could think of right now, unless you guys come up with something better. Would not be verified affect that on Twitch? I don't think, no, because you don't need to be verified to follow. You'd be able to still do the follower points and take part in that. I don't see why that would be a problem. Because I think I allow interaction from unverified. Oh no, I'm gonna sneeze. Oh no, I'm gonna sneeze. Oh no. Ah! 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 Whew. Sorry, someone's talking about me. Whew. You try using reverse sociology on Twitch chat? Reverse sociology, not reverse psychology? What do you mean reverse sociology? Oh, that's evil. I love it. I figured you guys would like that. I had to rewind this 3 times and I have the biggest grin on my face. Shut up, Oxy. I'm gonna win, so it'll be fine. Like, like the thing is, I'm gonna make sure that I win, and then I don't have to worry about it. And then I get 72 hours off my timer. So it's all good. It's all good. Bless you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, bless me, for I am truly needing of the blessing. I am Saint Celestine in the flesh. Bless me harder. I think he meant psychology, yes, but I like the idea of saying reverse sociology. Did he stutter? No, he did not. You're right. You're right. I'm gonna reverse sociology you. I'm gonna reverse social work you. Oh my god, I need a tissue so bad. Hold on, I need to blow my nose. Nose is so stuffy. Yeah. Okay, I'm back. Are you saying that Pancreas is plotting the collab like a villain because I was sneezing and saying someone was talking about me? It's nothing bad. We're just playing we're starting a playthrough of ODST, which is my favorite Halo game. Like, I just think it's so funny. Like, it's really weird, right? I said this before on Twitch, where it's like I don't normally get starstruck. And the reality is like, I understand that, especially on like Twitch and stuff like that, I'm not a tiny creator, so it's not like this super disproportionate collab, but it's like, it's really, it's like when you like somebody this much and you watch their content regularly, it's still like surreal getting to play with them. Like, it makes me really happy. Yes, Tetra, you will surely win the bet. It's not like your chat is full of lunatics crazy enough to buy you an entire couch. Yes, but I'm not putting anything orc-related or Skaven-related on the table to incentivize people who get me couches. So I should be fine on that front. I'm going to say this. I am not going to give any incentivization specifically tailored to any of the people who want to be psychos, because I'm not putting that evil into the world. I am not putting that evil into the world. All right. So, the first video we're going to be watching today, because I think that covers everything, right? I'm pretty sure that covers everything. That covers all the stuff with Patreon. That covers the stuff with the Nuzlocke. What we're going to be doing with the Nuzlocke as far as YouTube goes, because anybody who does not want to come over to Twitch, you guys will get it. You just won't be able to interact with it, obviously. Also, when the Nuzlocke's going to be, how it works, blah, 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 blah. Lastly, I will say this. I still don't know where the collab with Pancreas is going to be, whether it's going to be on Twitch or on YouTube, because I don't co-stream. I'm thinking I'm going to stream it on Twitch and then record it for YouTube, so that way you guys can still get it. It's going to be on February 8th. She's coping so hard. No, there's no couch to be bought. There's no couch to be bought. Surely it'll work this time. Well, Wisdom doesn't like Pokemon, so that works on that one. Warboss is incentivized by orcs, which I'm not going to do, and I'm not gonna fuel the fire. I'm just gonna win. I'm just gonna I'm gonna literally just be talking. I'm gonna be like super meta next stream. I'm just gonna be like this. All right, we're gonna just quickly go. Oh, chat, look out the window. Don't pay attention to what I'm doing. Beats gym leader. Keeps on moving. Oh, chat, what's that? You just dropped your keys. Beats the Elite Four. Oh, chat, what's that? You just shit yourself. Beats the champion. Wins the game. Oh man, look at that, chat. I win. That's gonna be how it goes. Tetra, only when you sneeze once does it mean someone's talking about you, not multiple sneezes. So since when are you the one who makes rules about sneezes, huh? When did you fucking write? When were you the Lorgar of the book writing for sneezing? Did you just decide arbitrarily that 2 sneezes mean no one's talking about you, but 1 sneeze, 2 sneezes is just 2 singular sneezes, right? So what if it just means 2 separate people are talking about me, or 2 instances of people are talking about me? Are you omnipotent? Are you Big E? Can you see with all your future sight the fact that someone is not talking about me in the world at this particular moment? That there is not somebody going out of their way to actively talk about me, inducing my sneezing? Did you think about that? I don't think that there was. I was there when the sneeze was written. Were you? Where was that, huh? Where was the sneeze written? Was it written at Atlantis? Because there's no proof right now that I can see of where the sneeze was written. Oh, look, Sanguinius is right over there. Oh my God, it's Sanguinius. No, we don't want to say that. We don't want to sing Sanguinius. That's going to cause heresy. But why no orcs? What do you mean? Look at the keys, jiggling keys. I don't have keys over here. Shit, where's my keys? I don't have anything that can jingle. I don't have anything that can jingle. Wait. I have a music box. Listen to my music box from Death Stranding. Three sneezes mean you've possessed and feel exercised, but does it though? It was Clan Pestilence. I don't know about that. Hit the nut button? Sure. Look at that. Distraction. I was the day Horus sneezed on the Emperor. Was it after he took the poop knife to the butt? 2 sneezes means you're getting blessed by Nurgle. Ooh. And now we're copying. If I don't think that the lullaby with that kind of melody will cause copyright. If it does, I'll laugh. But we'll see. I'll just demonetize and make this stream members only because that one moment. Spoilers, you lot. But okay, so I take it that you guys like the offer currently on the table for the Nuzlocke for tomorrow. Okay. We do this. Whew. Wouldn't you need like 7 seasons to be blessed by the grandfather? I don't know. Oh, because that's his number, right? That's his fancy little number. Don't tempt the AI. I'm allergic to nuts. That button scares me. When every time you hear the word nut, you sneeze. Sneezing doesn't feel very. All right. Question: after you sneeze, do you feel good or do you feel worse? Because sometimes when I have like a really heavy sneeze, I'm like, oh, I felt so good. Like, get it out of your system. And when I sneeze a lot, it feels horrible. Ready to learn more about the good time rhymes of the war crime rats? Absolutely. Absolutely. How could I not be? Nut. Also, I have more emotes being made. I will put some of them up for you guys when they are done. I just commissioned them. I've paid for them today. Also, I did see that 2 people resubscribed. I believe it was... Oh, here we go. There we go. 2 people resubscribed yesterday from membership, so thank you, Selector. Thank you, Moose. I really appreciate you guys. It always means a lot to me. You guys are amazing. And, okay. I'm just checking some other stuff real quick. Okay. Okay, awesome. If it's 1 sneeze, it's good. If it's multiple in a row, sometimes I get lightheaded. Yeah, that's fair. Is Nurgle rewarding you for spreading his gift? Oh, that's Nurgle rewarding you? That's funny. Oh, I need clarification on this. An associate of mine is a small-time VTuber and wanted to do Tetris content, but I was wondering what Tetris I go by she, her. Sometimes wears my back teeth hurts. See, that is like the least offensive way someone has asked me. That's like the least offensive way someone has asked me. There was somebody in my comment section that I had to hide. I didn't put it in the wall of shame, just because I didn't want to. But there was somebody whose profile picture, and mind you, as you guys know, I'm literally called a gay infiltrator to Warhammer, so I'm obviously very accepting. It was somebody's profile picture had the female male combined icon with like all the flags behind it, and then they insulted my voice. They literally said, as someone who just stumbled on the channel, that voice was what did they say it? That voice was a real jump scare, Skullface. And I'm just like, for somebody with a profile picture like that, that is a wild take, Skullface. Oh my goodness. You might be the first to ask that question that wasn't a shit, right? Right. My back is currently thrown out, so admittedly sneezing hurts like a bitch right now. Oh, that sounds horrible. The worst. So I remember when I had really chronic migraines like 2 years ago, and whenever I would sneeze, it felt like my brain was just turning into jelly. That one was rough. That was really rough. Also, you have a nice one. I love you. I love you. Mwah. It's like when you tell people, it's like, oh yeah, years of bulimia will do a lot to you. You have failed the nut check. You have failed the nut check. All right. You were not the first to ask, but you were certainly one of the people. You were certainly one of the people. Yes, you are one of the people. Yeah, Warboss is throwing his back out. Get it? Get it? You know, it's from the couch. They carried the couch too hard. You have a unique voice. Thank you. I try. One day we'll get that karaoke stream. I literally sang like 12 songs the other day. I literally sang a bunch of songs on Twitch the other day. What do you mean? Of course you're gonna get the karaoke stream. Relax. All right. We're 50 minutes in. I wanted to start the video at 30 minutes, but you know, yapping with you guys is kind of fun. I kind of like you guys a little bit, you know, not to give you guys an ego, and not to soften the blows of tomorrow, not to make you guys go easy on me. I would never do that unless it works. In which case, chat, you're looking so cute today, chat. Chat, you're looking really handsome. Go easy on me tomorrow. It's not enough singing, it's so good. Sing for YouTube sometime, maybe for members only. Maybe for members only. We do a little yapping here. We do a little yapping here. Yapping is I know yapping is expected, but still. Ego, us, no! My heart skips a beat whenever someone says, look at the baby. As for the fellow New Yorker, I hope you're already prepared for the snowstorm. Oh my god, I'm not. I'm not at all. I'm not at all. I have to deal with that. I don't wanna. I wanna just stay and hide. And thank you very much, Luce. I appreciate it. Thank you. I asked because I've been drip-fed a bit of conflicting information I didn't want to assume. Yeah, I don't know why there should be any conflicting information. I didn't think anybody was calling me a man. So... I mean, so be it. I do deal with people who have critiques of my voice, and that's cool. Whatever. I wish you all the best. Go easy on me. Yeah, go easy on me. Speaking of singing, is your daughter a fan of your singing or yours? Both. She likes both. If you see me out in Graya, say hi. Yapping and a Tetra stream, inconceivable, right? Absolutely. Rats are about to invade. Yes. You're too cute and beautiful to hide. Shut up in front. Wait, what? What? You're awesome. What? Huh? What the hell? At least your car is still functioning. At the moment, I suppose. I have medical equipment attached to my head so other people are doing the snow. You know what? Best time to have medical equipment attached to your head. You know, absolutely. New Yorker preferred snow are two phrases that never need combined in a sentence with any sincerity. Dude, you would think that with how often New York gets snowstorms, people will learn how to drive in it. They don't. Oh, it's a parody song? I still have to sing to you guys the Rylanor song, too. I'm supposed to sing the Rylanor song for you. I sang a little bit of one of the songs of the Imperium, too. One of the Christmas ones, like the Sanguinor Day. Or Sanguinalis, right? That was one of the ones I was supposed to do. Bring the warp, poof poof to smoke smoke or hi hi. Oh my god. My city does a banger job at taking care of the snow. 3 days later, they're all over it. Are you walking here? I'm walking here. Yeah, I am. I am walking here. Well, no, right now I'm just sitting here. I'm sitting here. Currently living in 24-degree weather in Superior, Wisconsin. I mean, it's probably nice and quiet though. Like, I love the city that never sleeps, but it's very loud all the time. It's very, very loud all the time. Doesn't matter how high you are, how low you are, where you are, it's just always loud. Let the entirety video contain only factual true information about the greatest supremacy of the Skaven kind begin. Start. Yes, 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 yes! Minnie's got COVID and collapsed during a ball game while she was cheering. Oh, little bean. Hello, we have been trying to reach you about your Angrons and extended empathy. I had to explain that to some new people. I was talking to Pancreas about the memes of this channel, and I told... Also, Pancreas approves of calling Vulcan Erebus. He thinks that it's diabolical that I deliberately swap Erebus and Vulcan. When the Oshi agrees and the Oshi approves, it is a good day. It is a good day. I'm from Old York, the Superior York. I mean, look, I love my UK viewers. I do. I do. I like New York more than Old York. But don't get me wrong. I would say London's better than most other cities in the United States. But New York is fantastic. Especially at its core. And I know people will disagree with it, but I think New York is one of the best cities in the world. I really do. I'm very critical of everything right now. I'm very critical right now of a lot of things, but I love New York. I told you he'd love it. I didn't think he would. I thought that he would think I'm crazy. He's a memer to the... I love him. I love Pancreas. He's such a cool guy. He's so friendly. He's such a friendly person. It made me like I mean again I was gushing a little bit, right? And I know I bribe with feet pics, but like come on, he's so nice. Piece of advice: never let your daughter cheer. It's a pit that never ends until she graduates. Oh, with cheerleading? Yeah, I would assume. I hate that Vulcan guy. Word bearers are the worst. Yeah, I know, Erebus, Primarch of the 18th. I agree. I'm playing World Eaters in a Crusade group, native 40k game mode, so I'm about to be very empathetic. Please do. Please be the most empathetic as you just nuke everybody. Speaking as a UK viewer, London sucks. I mean, that's fair. I was trying to be fair and not just completely just be critical of the UK, because I know I have a tremendous amount of UK audience, and I don't want to books plane to New York. I'm putting your middies in paint thinner. How dare you, Union Jack the Ripper? How dare you? Oh my goodness. You know what? Heat guns your mini. I will make all the glue. I will make all the glue dissolve. I'll make it fall apart. It's basically an IRL virus bomb. What else did I miss? How's your Primarch tier list so far? I still need to watch like 2 more before I make the tier list video. I'm still probably gonna make that tier list video members only, because I have a feeling that it's gonna piss off a lot of people. When Vulcan instantly goes into bottom trash tier, it's gonna make a lot of people angry. Shaked my teeth at the Brits. Vulcan did nothing wrong. Magnus is just a huggy boy, and Ferris Manus is the deepest lore. Look, we love Ferris Bueller here, okay? Ferris Bueller is a great Primarch who just, you know, he needed to get ahead. We need Ferris and Magnus. No, we need Magnus and Horus. Ferris is an offshoot that we'll watch in some spare time. Tetra found the Dark Angel's wife. It's been an hour. I need to start the video. I need to start the videos. I came to the US to drink tea and mess with Tetra, but someone has dumped all my tea. Okay, so I will say this, just to make all the British people envious that they don't get the lovely Tetra doing this for them. When I worked in restaurants, before I was working as a bartender, I was a waitress, and I was working in a very, very nice restaurant in the city. And one of the chefs there was British, right? Him and I had a really nice connection. He was a little misogynistic, but that's okay. He would take me away from my work every like hour on the hour to make him a pot of tea or a kettle of tea. And well, thank you for the follow on purple site poking. I'm gonna go turn that off. Whoopsie. Where is it? Streamlab alerts. There we go. So he was super critical of every pot I made him or every kettle of tea that I made him. But because of that, I learned to make a really, really good cup of tea. So I was always making his tea. Now, just so you know how good of a chef he was, there was once like I said, it was the city. We have, wealthy clientele. We had a really wealthy person from Shanghai come in, and he loved the chef's cooking so much because he wasn't the head chef, right? He was he was like a sous chef. So the guy from Shanghai loved the cooking so much. He came into the kitchen and immediately offered him a job, full time, a house, to fly him and his family out to Shanghai to be his personal chef. That is how good of a chef he was. It was really sad too. Because in exchange for making him tea all the time, he'd make me food. Most Brits can't function without tea. Yeah, of course. Funnily enough, I wanted to introduce your content to my associate solely because she has a cat named Tetra. That's so cute. Was he a southerner or a northerner? I don't know. I never really took the time to ask him about that because that was before I made British friends online, right? Because I was a lot younger. When I made British friends online, that's when I kind of learned the difference because I have a friend from the north and a friend from the south and they just buck heads. So I don't know. He was pretty posh though. He was very posh. If you're checking out Skaven videos, I'd recommend Pancreas Thankful video. The most Skaven that ever seen. I'm gonna probably watch all of the Pancreas Skaven videos. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm probably gonna watch all the Skaven videos. Cooking powered by tea. He made the best Scotch egg I've ever had, and because of that, I will always forever be chasing that Scotch egg again. It was the best Scotch egg ever. You ever react to Numbskulls? They have a series called Explaining Warhammer to My Girlfriend, and they have a queer couple, and quite fun, interesting watch. Okay, I'll look into it. I will also say, I'm probably still gonna watch Space King. I'm gonna do it on Twitch. I'm gonna watch Space King on Twitch, and then I'm gonna make the videos and release them on YouTube. I don't know how I'm going to monetize them because I don't know the proper format for it because I know that YouTube is a little bit fickle with them as we once got struck by flash kits. So fingers crossed we can just get it to work. All right, I've yapped for an hour and 6 minutes. We've covered everything that we've needed to cover. We've covered the Nuzlocke, we've covered the Patreon, we've covered basically everything. If you want to overall look at the Skaven character, praise be. Also, I think I've told you guys stories. I mean, I'll save them for when they're like relevant. I have a lot of really cool restaurant stories too from when I was working in the city. Because again, I worked at a very bougie place without naming it. So I've gotten to have some crazy clientele. That also like leads into the whole thing where like I said, I've met Billy Joel and all that other stuff. But I'll save those stories for when they're relevant. Also, I will say this: Billy Joel's a dick. Like he's unequivocally a dick and a narcissist. Like he is an insufferable person. Like I'm sorry. I am sorry. Fun fact for you, and I've said this before. I know I said it on Twitch a million times. I don't think I've ever said it on YouTube. If I have, I'm sorry. But yeah. But the man's so full of himself that literally his entire bedroom ceiling is mirrors so he could see himself. Just so you know. You don't need to know why I know that, but just so you know. The bingo cart of Yap is filled as well. I'm working at a hotel restaurant right now listening to this. Oh, look at that. Nice. Similar to the paramedic stories. Yeah. I mean, the paramedic stories I love because again, isn't he? Yeah, he's Piano Man. He is Piano Man. That does not change the fact that he is not a pleasant person. He is not a pleasant person. What in the fulgrim? What in the fulgrim? Okay, hang on. Oh, that level? Yeah, yeah. Wait, what? I worked at a venue that hosted comedians and bands. Most celebrities are dicks. Kinda, yeah. Kinda, yeah. God of Old, I can see that. Like look, like, I can just say that his property is insane. Like, his property is beautiful. He has a guest house that is like a 5-minute walk or like a 10-minute walk from his main house down by the water. And that guest house is larger than probably any of your houses. Like, it's really obnoxious because you have to walk past his helipad to get to it. You know, not only that, his neighbors are Andrew Yang and Kelly Ripa. New York is a fun place. Like I said, New York is a fun. Heard Henry Cavill's generally good. I heard Henry Cavill's a nice guy. I've heard Henry Cavill's a nice guy. My mother met Marilyn Monroe when she was a kid. Said he was really. You know who is really nice? The guys from Breathe, Carolina, and only people who are a little bit older even probably know who they are. But like, was it Kevin and Dan? They were such nice people. Like, oh my goodness. I loved meeting them. Love meeting them. Okay, let's get the video ready. I'm sorry, we sidebarred really hard. We went on a side quest and we stayed far. We stayed on that side quest. Let me put the oh, huh. My my stream deck seems to have turned off. That is not good. It's not the end of the world. But that means I can't turn off, I can't put my legs down. You might be stuck with me in this pose for the day. You might be stuck with me with my legs up today. I can't put it down. My Steam Deck has decided to stop working. The scuff. Yeah, my hardware is being jank. That's okay. It's not the end of the world. Did 10 years as a roadie, I can say with confidence that Henry Styles and Lady Gaga are the nicest people in showbiz. I adore Lady Gaga. No, you know who else is wonderful? BB Rexa. I've met BB Rexa before. Because we used to, Yura and I actually used to go to some of the underground shows in Brooklyn. And we would go to see like the up and coming artists, right? And before she really hit it big, she was doing small underground shows for like 100 people. And like some of the nicest people that I met during those shows were BB Rexa and Mystery Skulls. Mystery Skulls, nicest human being ever. Nicest human being ever. Like, both Yura and I love this man. He was so damn friendly. Okay. That is a quote indeed. You know what? Banker, you're not wrong. I had to think about when I said that, and I'm like, oh, I did in fact say that. Yeah, I was about to comment phrasing too, and I'm like, what the heck? And I'm like, oh, I did say that. I did say that. My mom met Elijah Wood at the set of Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Some of it was filmed at the apartment building we lived at for the time. Damn. Damn. Okay, let me get this working. Music's off. All right, we're finally gonna start. Finally gonna enjoy some Skaven. Yes, yes. All right. How are the missus and the baby? They're doing great. Baby is sleeping, and Yura, I think, is just working on her tablet right now. Okay, okay, okay. Where is it? What the hell? There we go. All right. Make sure the volume is good. We're going to be watching some Skaven. All right, we're watching another Pancreas video. This one is the Skaven are Warhammer's best faction. So we're going to get to learn more about the Rats with Nukes. Yay! All right, here we go.
Warhammer It's got a lot of factions.
It does.
3 entire game systems worth of factions. Some of them are absolutely iconic.
All right, dumb question right from the get-go, because I know we always talk about Age of Sigmar, but I thought Age of Sigmar is kind of a branch off of fantasy when they ended fantasy. But is Age of Sigmar still something that's ongoing, that's separate from fantasy, or is it just like retconned away into fantasy? Because I thought Sigmar was from fantasy, but then they ended fantasy and they came out with Age of Sigmar, but then they brought back fantasy. So, just so I understand that, is Age of Sigmar a third whole thing? Or is it just an offshoot of fantasy? It's still active and separate? Really? Really? I didn't realize that. It's like the sequel to fantasy. So, but they brought fantasy back. How do you continue? So they're continuing the sequel and the prequel at the same time. Huh. Thank you, Josh. I'm probably gonna watch that one too. All right. Let's get started.
If you take a Space Marine and show it to someone who doesn't know anything about Warhammer, there's decent odds they'll be able to recognize it as that 40k thing.
Yeah!
Some, of course, are flops. You work on a franchise for 40 plus years, you're bound to end up with something atrocious like Bretonnia eventually. Not everything's a hit after all,
like
sometimes you end up with a mistake. Most factions are unique and have their own draws that weigh out any potential cons, though. Even the Leagues of Votann have plenty to bring someone towards collecting them, even with their model count currently being pretty minimal and their lore being entirely propped up by the old squats and Deep Rock Galactic.
Well, the Votann are just the space dwarves who are actually just human, right? Like they're all clones. I'll see if I remember this correctly, because we're always testing my knowledge on this. They're all clones and they still use AI, but even though they've traded with the Imperium before, they pretend that they're Xenos because they don't want the Imperium to know that they're actually human, because then they'll have a whole shitstorm with the AI going on, right? Roughly. Isn't that how the Leagues of Votann go? Yep. Okay.
But out of all the armies you can collect in Warhammer, none of them reach the peak that the Skaven have managed to climb. They are, in my eyes, the ultimate Warhammer faction. In lore and tabletop, everything. As far as designing an army goes, they're peak Warhammer. Sure, they've got downsides, but from the standpoint of not only players of Warhammer and fans of its lore, but also from GW's point of view, they have pretty much everything you could possibly want out of a faction. And you know, looking back on my Skaven Do or Don't, that video was only 12 minutes long. For a faction that I love as much as the Skaven, I feel like I didn't nearly do them enough justice. So if you don't believe me, please, let me try to convince you all on the subject of Skaven supremacy.
Let's look at some rat supremacy.
And on the topic of things that are great, posters are...
Oh my god. I need to, okay. I am going to actively ask him. When I speak to Pancreas when we're collabing, I'll just actually DM him this later. Because I need to know. Because I'm always watching his videos, and I always make a stink about this part, right? I want to ask him, I'm like, does it help you if I keep this up? Because if he says, yes, Tetra, it does help me to keep it up, I will never skip over them again. I will never skip over them again. If he tells me, yeah, it doesn't matter anymore, blah, 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 I will tell everybody who yells at me, be like, shut up, he said it's fine. Because as I always will say to you guys, go support the man. Go follow him. It's his birthday. You know, we love and appreciate him here. But I need to ask him. I need to ask him a question. I think it's going to drive me nuts. I'm going to have to. That's a good idea. Yeah, no, I'm not going to do it now, obviously, because he's doing his own thing. But I'm going to bug him about this. I don't get me wrong. I think it's incredible that he pulled that off. It was so cleanly done. Yeah, no, if Senpai says that those need to be left in, then those stay in, and I will eat my words. And I'll be like, you know what? He said that he wants me to keep those ads in, and I'm going to say, you know what? Absolutely, I will keep those ads in. But until he tells me that,
best. Let's start off slow. They're one of the few things that are almost wholly original to GW. I'll be honest, as much as Warhammer Fantasy is my favorite Warhammer setting, there's like 3 original bones in its body. What isn't taken from Tolkien or Michael Moorcock is just taken from real-life history. A land of fractured nation-states who elect an emperor and constantly squabble amongst each other? Man, I wonder where that comes from. Or how about a dying race who's highly proficient in magic and tends towards extreme arrogance? Congratulations, you have the High Elves, and every elf ever. I don't think there's anything truly wrong with that, but still,
Who designed the first elf? Was it Tolkien? Like, did Tolkien create the idea of the elves? Like, I know it sounds insane because, like, elves have always been, like, around in literature, but, like, who created the modern idea of the elves? Because they are always the same. I don't really think about it too often, but, like, the elf concept is always this narcissistic, bigger than life mentality, with like tons of superiority complex and yada yada yada. So I'm always pretty curious about that.
Warhammer Fantasy isn't the most original thing out there, but the Skaven, their inspirations are just that. Inspirations. They didn't copy and paste something before
No, I mean in the modern context. I mean, like, I don't mean like folklore type of thing. I mean like the modern idea of what elves are. No, yeah, no. I don't mean like where were they in like ancient mythology type of thing. I mean like the mentality of what we've created with this that we see in every bit of like fantasy lore. I'm wondering if it started with Tolkien.
Filing the serial numbers off. As far as I understand it, there's two main inspirations, the general idea of rats being bastards, and roughly World War I era tech. The first thing you can't possibly call a ripoff, because rats being evil isn't exactly a new idea, and it's not unique to one corporation or the other. I doubt the first medieval peasant dying of the Black Plague is gonna call GW out on copying his suffering for their war game or some shit. As for World War I, there are...
By the way, Tetra, the difference between fantasy and Age of Sigmar is that fantasy is a single planet that's totally not Earth, and Age of Sigmar is realms, dimensions like Magic the Gathering. Ooh, Sigmar sounds cool. What the heck?
A race of mad scientist evil rats use poison gas, machine guns, and wave tactics to overwhelm their enemies, no matter the cost. Well, yeah, most of those things were in World War I. I don't remember the rats at Verdun being quite as vicious as the Skaven. They take the idea of World War I warfare and turned it into a unique and distinct faction, not just grabbing France or Germany from that time period and making them all mice. They're a race that makes GW's work truly stand out, because there's not really anything you can point at and go, yeah, they're basically just this, but with vermin. Also, unrelated fun fact, did you know that rats are actually quite the social butterflies? There's actually some pretty significant amount of findings that show rats are supportive and reasonably kind animals, only really turning into something resembling the Skaven under the most extremely cramped and horrid conditions.
Yeah,
Why
rats
don't
are
you
awesome.
think on that the next time you say the phrase rat bastard? But while it's quite rude to normal rats, the phrase is...
Whenever we talk about rats, though, like in a dark sense, I do always think of that scene from Game of Thrones where they put the rat in the bucket on the guy's stomach, and then they heat the bucket. Right? You know what I'm talking about? Because I believe that's actually a real thing that happened, that people did, like a real torture.
Is perfectly suited to these ones. They are pure evil to the core on a species-wide level. The kindest a Skaven is ever going to get is when they consider certain other Skaven as tools worth preserving, rather than just throwing them into the firing line for fun. They are so tremendously awful that even the worst demon or follower of chaos across any Warhammer setting is going to look like a shoplifter at worst by comparison. And you know what? That's amazing. Quite frankly, the only true downside I think they have is them being pure evil, which means if you want even the most tenuous argument for your faction being in some way good, then you're totally out of luck here. But there's so many upsides that come with it that I just don't think it matters. For one, this is a war game setting. Warhammer thrives on conflict.
Yeah, you really don't
Sure, a
need
lot
to
of
have any
factions within it
bubblegum and
want peace
sunshine in this kind of
eventually,
setting.
but then we run into the issue of not
See, this
having
is why
a
I
war
like
game
Drakari.
anymore because no one's fighting. Other than Blood Bowl, I guess, but it's just not the same. The Skaven, meanwhile, can single-handedly ensure there will always be war in Warhammer. Besides, villains with complex motivations and moral shades of grey are all well and good, but pure evil ones are some of the most iconic for a reason. Emperor Palpatine would be a lot less fun to watch if he just sat Luke down and calmly explained how the Jedi and Republic were corrupt and had to go, instead of electrocuting him. It's also sometimes just fun to be the bad guy. It's why games like Overlord exist. It's fun to be a piece of shit every now and again, and you cannot get lower on the morality totem
You also need to check out the video, The Skaven of All Time Thankful. I'm going to.
pole than the Skaven.
Thank
They're
you, by the way.
selfish, they're cruel, they want to enslave or kill every other being in existence, including other Skaven, and it's amazing. And yet, even with all that being said and done, you can still root for Skaven characters because they're just so fun to watch do their thing. Even amongst Warhammer fans who don't really know much about fantasy, I have not met a single person who genuinely dislikes Thanquol or the idea of his character. He's the most Skaven to ever Skaven. He will routinely torture underlings for no reason other than he can. He's so self-centered he makes other Skaven look like paragons of humility, and overall, he's just the worst. But every time he makes an appearance in a book I'm reading, I get the goofiest grin on my face, and I can't help rooting for the guy. He's just so silly and fun to watch do his thing. His evil is so over the top that he utters the phrase, "There's more than one way to skin an infant." I mean, what the hell am I supposed to do with that kind of character other than just laugh and hopes he sticks around, if only to see how awful he can get? His incompetence mixed with how abhorrent of a being he is, mixed with his actual skills, are great, and I can't get enough of it. To say nothing of Claw, aka the rat who broke the moon, or any of the other Skaven characters. They're so bombastic and ridiculous that it loops around from being reprehensible to just being funny, and you root for them because you want to see what BS they get up to next. Speaking of their evil though, they're perfect because it can be played either completely straight or for laughs. Let's look at it played straight first. You're an Imperial citizen in some backwater town or other. Not too big, you're not in Nuln or Altdorf or something like that, but also not too small. You got yourself a reasonable garrison to keep any stray beastmen or goblins out, and the walls are of decent quality. Maybe thousands of years ago some elves or dwarfs made them, and your town keeps them in good enough condition to use. Things are good. Then one day, things start getting bad. Not all at once, and early on it may not even be anything particularly exceptional. The Skaven can be subtle after all. Maybe you have a bit of a crop shortage one harvest season. That sucks, and you and some others are definitely going to be hungry for a bit, but that happens all the time. There's no reason to suspect foul play, especially foul play by devious ratmen. Then some cattle get slaughtered, but again, no biggie. A beastman probably got hungry before he could be driven off. Some people start going missing, which is certainly more worrying, but again, it happens all the time. In the world of Warhammer Fantasy or Age of Sigmar, there's a million different reasons someone can get lost. Then things start getting bad in a way that you can't rationalize away, that can't be written off as unrelated occurrences. Out of the corner of your eye, you see hunched figures darting in and out of the shadows. You never quite catch a glimpse, but you can swear they're watching the moment you turn away. Shards of warpstone begin appearing, tainting the land, water, and more, and turning your fellow townsfolk into vile mutants. More people begin disappearing, now many of them influential figures in the town. Reports of caravans being attacked by rat-like beastmen constantly come in, until one day no one ever makes the trip to your town again. And one day, if you listen closely, you can swear you hear the tolling of a bell 13 times, and then it comes to a head. As if out of nowhere, thousands upon thousands of Skaven surge into the town. Maybe they burst out of the ground through a massive network of tunnels they've been building all this time, slaughtering the guard and anyone in their path before you can react. Maybe they approach from outside the wall, but while you cut down 10 for every 1 man you lose, you can never kill enough to stop them. All the while, the most horrific creatures you could imagine lumber towards the gates, smashing them in and letting the horde into the town. Survivors are taken into slavery or outright eaten, and in a single night, the entire town is gone. When played straight, the Skaven are an endless tide of hungry, hateful creatures using foul science and magic to destroy everything around them, including each other. There is no stopping them truly, because you can never kill them all. Their recklessness means even the most prepared and intelligent of scholars, engineers, or warriors can't hope to match them. Even the strongest of elven swords.
This is so bad that all I can think of is rats, rats, we are the rats.
Sorcerers are the most intelligent of dwarf engineers can't hope to match the 50 Grey Seers or 500 Rattling Gun teams they face off against. Their very god is just as evil as him, and he is ever hungry for more conquest. But then, we get to the silly Skaven, the way they're portrayed most often outside of circumstances like the Total War trailer or Vermintide games. In this version, they're still trying to do the exact same things before. Secretly build up an invasion force, weaken their target town, all that jazz. Except they can't actually do anything right. Anytime they power up their latest invention, it explodes. The people in charge of the thing either explode with it, or all start blaming each other so their superiors kill the other rat instead of them. They're also probably crushing up and storing the warpstone used to power their tech when they think no one's looking, because nothing pairs with dangerous and unstable technology like crack rocks. Meanwhile, their espionage teams just seem to keep hitting snags in their operation. One team accidentally burrows directly into the guard post during a shift change and is promptly slain. One team somehow gets lost despite starting 5 feet from the town walls and ends up in Mindenheim instead, and the third team didn't even make it out of the base, instead all fighting each other over who should be in charge and killing half their ranks in the process.
Oh my god.
Meanwhile, their leaders have all promptly ignored the Council of 13's orders, which they blame on their fellow commanders, so the council will have them killed instead. This is followed by them having half the army redeployed to go fight one of their rivals instead of this otherwise perfectly conquerable town they're supposed to be capturing. Meanwhile, Claw has diverted all of your remaining warpstone supplies to his latest project, because he wants to see if he can build a bomb that only blows up elves. Not only does this rob you of your remaining warpstone you need for the assault, but the bomb he builds somehow manages to only hurt members specifically belonging to your clan.
Oh
and
my
entirely
god.
by accident, it blows up directly in your barracks. Why is it in your barracks? Who knows? All of this, mind you, happened in the first 3 days of preparing for the assault on the town. It swiftly ends when Gotchik and Felix show up, promptly kill all of them, and 300 miles away, Thanquol laughs to himself about how he has rid himself of rivals that didn't actually know he existed. They talk speak funny, they betray each other so often that it loops around from despicable to hilarious, and they're an entire race built on the concept of failing upwards. I mean, come on, they mine gold purely because it makes other races angry. They don't use...
That is still my favorite detail of anything that I have learned about the Skaven. I remember it in the previous video. The fact that they strictly do this for the gold, like they do it because they're just generational haters and they just want to grief for the love of the game. That alone is my favorite detail. Just grinding out a resource and denying other people it is incredible.
Use it for anything. They just know that the dwarfs will get pissed if they take their gold, and so they throw thousands of workers to their deaths to rob Thorgrim of a couple gold bars. They're pure evil and can be terrifying, but just as often, they're just funny. To address them being perfect on the tabletop, you have so many options available to you that in some ways it honestly rivals even the Space Marines over in 40k. Sure, you have your classic unending horde of rats you can drown your enemy in. While it may not be an orthodox way to win your game, making your opponent rage quit because your movement phase takes 3 hours is definitely one.
Okay, this mini looks really cool. Wait, what is this thing? What is this thing? It looks like a... Is it just the bell? Is that the bell for 13 for the 13 rings? That's such a cool looking mini. That's so cool looking.
One way to go about things. And hey, as long as the enemy isn't Marathi and just decides to stop taking damage after a certain point, everything will die if you throw enough rats at it. And even with just that strategy, you've got options. Clan rats for the most basic choice, plague monks for a bit more damage, storm vermin for an all-around upgrade. Even if your only plan is to drown the enemy in rats, you can do that in plenty of different ways. But consider also the humble rattling gun. It's a magical machine gun that explodes as often as not, but it'll probably hurt the enemy on the way out. Same with the warp fire thrower, but now it's a flamethrower. Perhaps artillery is more your thing. Plague Claw Catapult or a Warp Lightning Cannon. Go nuts. Magic? You've got the Grey Seers, of course, or a Vermin Lord if you want to go big.
Oh,
in fact, Vermin Lords are filling 4 different roles because you can build them in 4 different ways. 5 if you count the special characters for each Vermin King. And of course, all sorts of medium or heavy monsters to throw onto the field. Hell Pit Abominations, Rat Ogres, Storm Fiends. You have so many different options for building a Skaven army that it's almost absurd. Are they all viable? Probably not, but who cares? You have so many different options. If you only build for viability, you're missing out on both a whole lot of fun and the true Skaven experience of just throwing garbage at the enemy and seeing what sticks. And while they're of course more on the expensive side, you can build them for at least a little bit cheaper than you might think. Take Thanquol. He's $90 for a model that's 430 points on the tabletop. That's not a bad deal at all in terms of points per dollar. Storm Fiends are $75 for a 310 point unit.
Never heard that.
Vermin Lords can be up to 400 points depending on what...
Hold on. This one looks sick. I like this one a lot. The Vermin Lord Deceiver. This is the coolest model from these guys I've seen so far. I love that. That is sick looking.
Which one you choose for $115, and a lot of the individual models like the Warp Lightning Catapult are around 40-ish bucks for roughly 180 points, give or take 10 or 20 in both dollars and points. If you want the endless Vermintide playstyle with large-scale games, then yeah, you better just accept the fact that you're missing at least one mortgage payment. But for smaller games and using some of the pricier models, you can actually play Skaven relatively cheaply. Relatively, of course, as always we're talking Warhammer prices here, but you can always find some secondhand for a bit cheaper, and as an added bonus, them being a horde army means that anyone selling them probably has a lot of minis they want to get rid of. Well, I'm not sure if it's still up. There was a dude...
Yeah, that's such, you know, I'm gonna use that now. Like whenever I'm spending money, like if I'm buying something, even if it's not Warhammer related, I'm just gonna, if you're as like, Tetra, you shouldn't be spending that much money on XYZ. I'm gonna be like, but you're think about it. It's cheap dollar per point. Okay, it's a great dollar per point ratio.
Selling 71 Plague Monks on eBay for $79. That's barely $1 a mini, and that's the kind of thing you can expect to find buying Skaven secondhand. Of course, switching back over to the narrative side of things, all those fun units on the tabletop have their own factions and lore behind them. You want to build an army of mad scientists? You got 2 different flavors of mad scientist. Ooh. You can go Frankenstein with Clan Mulder, because sometimes it's fun to play Russian roulette with people's genes. Or maybe you prefer the technological side of being a mad scientist. Clan Scryer will be happy to have you. Probably to use...
Fun fact about the Screwing Bell, it had the ability to roll 2d6 and get an effect based on the roll. But on a roll of 13, aka you somehow cheated, you'd automatically win the game. Sadly, they removed that bit of... But wait, that's that's so clever. How would you pull that off? Like, how would you would you have to just sneak in an extra thing on one of the die, and then you win the game and just no one you have to do it with no one noticing? Because that's such a clever way to do it.
Do as a live test dummy for their latest invention, but hey, you can't make an omelet without cracking a few 100,000 eggs. An endless swarm of rats your thing? Clan Mors or Verminous has you covered quite handily. What if you're a sneakier kind of fella? Well, Clan Eshin is more than happy to teach you the ways of Evil Master Splinter. And if you're a frequent goer of anime conventions, Clan Pestilence is the home for you. And you know what makes all of this even more wonderful? In pretty much every way, they have not changed from their fantasy iteration, at least the more recent one. Well, as with all factions, they've had changes since their very first inception. From Fantasy to Age of Sigmar to Total War, they've all been pretty much the same. Clan Pestilence is now the Clan's Pestilence, but they're still the same thing, spreading disease and ruin across reality in the name of the Horned Rat. For that matter, a whole ton of the hero models in AOS are the same as they were in Fantasy. Like the Arch Warlock is just Ikit Claw. It's straight up the Ikit Claw model being called something different.
That's
you
really
can
cool
make the argument
though.
that it ruins what makes the character special, since it's no longer an individual character, but consider this argument. If you'd like, you can just straight up have the narrative of your AOS game be the Skaven from Fantasy. You don't have to pretend that this new model is actually an old Fantasy character, because again, this is just straight up Ikit Claw. Just like the Plague Priest is just Lord Skrulk. It's your narrative for the game, pretend it's in any of the settings you want. And while of course plenty of the old models could certainly use an update, in the grand scheme of things I don't think they're that bad. Especially given their lore, Skaven models looking a bit derpy or outdated isn't the worst thing ever. The Skaven are supposed to look horrible. They're supposed to look dingy and gross and generally unpleasant. So a model being a bit outdated isn't as bad for them as it is for, say, the Guard, and the poor Katakan jungle fighters who look like they spent a round too many in the ring with Ivan Drago. This of course has
Wait, it's Katakan, not Katachan? Have I been saying it wrong this whole time? No one has told me that I've been saying it wrong. Oh no. Oh no. I'm a fake fan!
its limits. Please, for the love of God, GW, update the Eshin infantry units. They need help. But overall, the Skaven look both good and consistent across their model lines and the different games alike. And this is all good for both GW and Warhammer fans. For GW, they have a faction that they can sell across multiple different systems, especially if they remove the Skaven from the legacy side of the old world and update them. They can both sell old models because a lot of them aren't that bad looking or in need of an update, all the while pretty much every new model they make for them is going to be met with applause.
How many people in the fan base, like the old heads that get really angry over change, like with the Primaris and everything else and Femsodies and everything else that they get angry over, like how pissed would they be if like a Skaven horde came out of the warp in 40k? Like just if they just introduced Skaven into 40k, because then they would just make so much money. Like how pissed off would people be? I feel like people would be excited, but I'm sure there'll be like that group of people who just get so angry over the idea of something new being added to the 40k universe. Because there's like 40k, the Skaven have already like interacted with 40k somehow, right? Not a lot, honestly. The Skaven accidentally were able to break the... See, that's what I was talking about. There we go. That's exactly what I was talking about with Matthias. The multiverse barrier was somehow able to talk to the Dark Eldar from 40k, implied by Vect. Yeah. They would care. I feel like they would care. I feel like they'd be angry. Anybody angry that would need to F off? Almost nobody? I feel like they would. Okay, so let me ask you this question. Why was there anything to be angry over with the Primaris? Like why would I understand the current one. I'm not going to talk about the current one because it's polarizing right now and I don't feel like unloading that. But what about the Primaris was enough to say that the hobby is dying? Because I remember reading from multiple people that the Primaris was also something that triggered a lot of people. And I don't understand what on earth there is about the Primaris that weren't saying the hobby's dead. Adding Skaven to 40k is better than Primaris. But what about the Primaris Marines were bad? That's what I want to know. I just want to know what the problem with the Primaris Marines actually was. Because I still don't understand that one. I just know it was one that they were really upset about. Mostly because people thought you had to rebuy your entire army. Oh, price uptick. Okay. But it didn't really change. It just added something. It didn't take away anything, right? Like you don't need to have a Primaris. Because I had over $1,000 of Space Marine models, and now that are now Wait, are they obsolete now? That's the question, Warboss. Because like I said, I'm not being judgmental of this one. I don't understand this one. I don't understand the Primaris issue. because that's before my time of getting into the hobby. More so because GW presented them like they were replacing the old, but they didn't replace the Marines, right? They're just something that was an addition. Because the only exposure I have to Primaris is Space Marine 2, right? Like with Titus. So like that's the only real exposure to Primaris I have at this point when it comes to that. It's, I know that they're an upgrade of a regular Space Marine, but my concern was just why it made people so upset. I can technically play them, but they're strictly worse than the Primaris equivalent. But does a Primaris have the same amount of points? Like for the tabletop? Because if it's the same amount of points, then yeah, then that would be really terrible. If a Primaris takes more points than a Space Marine, then I could see it just being a choice, right? You can get more Space Marines on a field as opposed to the Primaris if they're stronger and more points. If it's the same amount of points, then that would be pretty devastating. That would actually make a lot of sense. If it's because they're actually the same amount of points, I would see that being really bad. They did, but GW really mishandled them. Well, GW is pretty bad when it comes to like explaining their goals. They don't seem to have a really good public relations person, right? Like whenever they make a tweet or they make a post about something, they tend to write it in the worst humanly possible way. So that's kind of one of the things that I've noticed. Not exactly Primaris are replacements for Firstborn. Okay, so but like, did Firstborn have their own mini? It's not exactly the same, but you're still generally getting better point value from the Primaris. Gotcha. So then I could see why that one would be more upsetting than some of the other things then. Okay. But now, as somebody who was bothered by the Primaris thing, would you be okay with the Skaven coming to 40k? Rats, yes, coming through the warp. They could bring their little nukes, little quirky little nukes. They don't have to be a real army. They could just be griefers. They could just be little griefers in the world of 40k. All new Space Marines are Primaris. Wait, really? All of them? For real? Oh, okay. All right. Well, you learned something new. Sorry for sidebarring so hard.
From a player standpoint, you can use those rats anywhere. Just put them on a square or a circle base depending on how you're feeling. The only faction that surpasses them in this are the demon factions you can use even over in 40k. And only a few of the models they have are horribly outdated, so your army's gonna look good. You also have all the reason you need to have them fighting any army in the game. Skaven fighting the forces of Order? Of course they are. The Skaven are a monstrously evil and destructive race. Every Order army will fight them.
What is that?
Destruction armies don't need a reason to fight anyone, same as death, so there's another thing they got going for them. And as for mirror matches, the Skaven hate each other almost as much as they hate non-Skaven. You ever look at something like an Imperium versus Imperium match and think, man, these people should really be fighting literally anyone else? Well, with the Skaven, you don't have that problem. You never think that because the Skaven spend more time fighting each other than outside forces. It's been specifically given as the reason they don't conquer everything. They spend most—
Sorry, one last thing, just one last little like stupid thing that I think would be funny. Would it be really funny if you went to like a 40k tournament? I don't know if it's tournaments, but when you go to like a game store and you're playing the games, right? And everybody's battling with their armies, and then somebody just rolls up to a 40k tournament with the Skaven army, and then they're like, that's not 40k, and they're like, I don't care. I don't follow the rules. I have an army of rats, and they just want to battle 40k armies with the Skaven.
Of their energy fighting each other. The moment they united in the end times, they conquered half the world on their own. So yeah, narratively, there's never an invalid time for the Skaven to be fighting, especially if it's against each other. And to get back to rules, my favorite thing about the Skaven is that in some ways, they're the last bastion of Warhammer having rules that are as geared towards fun as they are towards competitive balance. Sometimes Warhammer having goofy rules was taken too far, especially early in Age of Sigmar's lifespan. Having a rule where your model performs better if you have a bigger mustache than your opponent is just a bit much, funny as it is. Which was a real rule in AOS First Edition, thank you Kurt Helborg. But the Skaven keep that attitude going without overdoing it. Want to double the damage or—
Honestly, lore-wise, I feel like the Skaven accidentally blasting a hole through 40k universe would make more sense than the Primaris lore. I love that.
Warp Lightning Cannon does? Just overcharge that son of a bitch and let it rip. As long as you don't mind the substantial chance it'll explode and take its crew with it. Same for all their weapons teams. It's not only the best way to marry their lore with their gameplay, but it's also just good fun. You can't be angry when your overcharge fails because A, you did it to yourself, and B, it's just a good time doing it. Laugh like a mad scientist, bet it all on black, and either win the game in one move or send your weapons team straight to hell. Drown the enemy in 500 rats at a time. Who cares if you lose all of them in a single volley from the enemy?
The reason people don't like the female custodians is because of the very obvious there is a DEI project. Games Workshop was forced into it by Amazon. I mean, I hate talking about it. I understand people not liking things. I do. I don't really think it's that big of a deal. I think that the model looks fine. I think it looks cool. It just adds, right? Like if they're just adding things, it's not hurting the hobby. It's just it's not. People want to think it's going to, but it's not. As a fantasy head, I think we would get more mad at them coming to 40K. You guys get the money and the fame. Let us have the funny rats.
You have another 500 right behind them. Maybe I'm wrong, or it's just my blatant favoritism showing for them, but the Skaven seem to be one of the few Warhammer armies where fun was prioritized over either balance or making them overpowered to sell new models. And you don't often get that nowadays. And for my last big reason to love the Skaven, it's that in all honesty, I think they can comfortably fit in 40K in plenty of different ways. Think about it. Their technology is almost entirely powered by warpstone, solidified chaos, essentially. With that in mind, I think it could fit into 40K just fine without too many...
Okay, the last thing I'm going to say about that topic, as polarizing as it is, everybody says that those things were added to be woke and to be, complacent and yada, 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 and PC culture, yada, yada. The people who are going to buy it are men. Like, the people who are going to buy it are men who like muscle mommies and they want a muscle mommy on their team. That's 99% of the people who are going to go and buy it. Like, look, I'm not going out and buying a Custodes. I don't like the Custodes at all. I don't give a crap about them. Like, I'm not going out and buying the female Custodes because I don't care. The people who like the Custodes are probably going to go and get it. Like, yeah, there's some people who are going to say, no, I don't want to get it because I don't like the idea of a female Custodes because it's not lore accurate or blah, blah, blah. The majority of people who are going to go and buy it are the men. The normal people who are part of the community are the ones who are going to buy it, more so than these new people that everybody seems to hate it that are tourists. That's just food for thought. Because, like, again, people like me are not going to get it. I'm out there buying Drakari, you know? So it's like you guys, like, they get so angry at, like, oh, the tourists are ruining the hobby and blah, blah, blah. But it's not the tourists who are buying that product. Like, that is the people who are still in the hobby. Those are the men who are playing the hobby who go and buy that. So, like, 6 people, if 6 people buy it, they wouldn't make more. Like, that's the really easy thing. Like, that's a really easy way to go back to it. If 6 people were buying it, then they wouldn't they wouldn't further push it. They don't gain anything by pushing it because they care about money before they care about anything else. Like, if something does not make them money, they're not going to virtue signal and push something on you because they don't care about that. They do it because it makes them money. So that's the thing. Like, it's always just about the money. So, like, again, I respect all your opinions about it, but yeah, focus on the rats.
Power scaling issues. If you think warpstone weapons would be too underpowered as they are in fantasy or even AOS, that can easily be explained by chaos being a much bigger influence in 40k, on account of it being galaxy-wide rather than just contained to one planet or 8 realms. Chaos is stronger due to the increased scale and time span, therefore the warpstone is more potent. The numbers aren't an issue, because if you turn around for 5 minutes, the Skaven will have overpopulated a hive world. And as for transportation, the Skaven and Age of Sigmar tunnel between reality and the warp through null holes that can show up anywhere.
Wait, there's
like
minis for null holes? That's so cool!
Why is that so cool? I like that. As long as you don't go near a damage section. Null holes, meanwhile, have a mortality rate that's unknown, but let's be honest, it's a Skaven-made thing. It's at least 50%. But yeah, in terms of capability, they could just straight up be added to 40k with minimal issues in my opinion. And even if you don't agree with that on a factional level, how about this? Take some Skaven, mix them with Imperial Guard bits, and you suddenly have an abhuman army. The Guard already works by drowning the enemy in men like the Skaven do with rats, why not give the mice some futuristic bits? And as long as you swap out the bases, you could probably just use a rattling gun or warpfire thrower as a heavy weapons team. This one may be a bit weird since the Skaven obviously aren't in 40k, but I think they could work just fine. The image of rats swarming across the galaxy is one that brings great joy to my heart.
I want that.
And honestly, for all that it's completely non-canon, it makes me love them even more. And for all those reasons, that's why I think the Skaven are the best faction. That sentence really sounds like I'm capping off a college essay, but I can't think of a better way to end the video. Go buy yourself some Skaven. And on an unrelated but still cool note, Gaijin Goomba, who I have done some collabs with, has made a channel dedicated to orcs. It's good fun and you should go check it out. Someone had to be the orc-themed content creator in the 40k space, and he's taken up the honorable role. Not quite as glamorous as the glorious Eldar are, but hey, any Xenos appreciation is always welcome. And they are the other race that won the war in heaven alongside the Eldar, so I think it's good that someone's bringing some more attention to them. Go watch his stuff, it's fun. And as always, thank you to my wonderful channel members. You are the warpstone to my Skaven, fueling my ever-expanding empire of garbage. If you'd like to support the channel, feel free to subscribe or become a member. Either way, thank you for watching and take care out there. You know what the worst thing the Skaven did?
What?
Constantly interrupt Nagash's plans. The uneducated among you may say that, but that's a good thing.
Wait.
Nagash is a monster. But the true geniuses among you will understand that the Warhammer fantasy world and the mortal realms all rightfully belong to him. That everyone else denying him this is denying him his rightful due. So yes, in that regards, the Skaven have truly ruined things for everyone, preventing the sweet embrace of death everyone so deserves.
Wait, I need to go back for a second.
Everyone so deserves.
I need that many. I need this. What is this thing? This thing's so cool looking. What the heck? Is that a Tomb Lord? Wait, that is so cool. That's so cool. Oh my god, I love that. Oh my goodness. All right. Let's go back to the other screen for a minute while I get set up on this. All right. That was video number 1. Do you guys want another Skaven video? Do you guys want another Skaven video, or do you guys want something else? I don't mind. I don't mind. The only one I'm probably not going to do today is I'm not going to do the Thanquol one, because the Thanquol one's a little bit longer. I don't know how long the Skaven clans video is. I can go look. Rats all day, Skaven, yes, rats. Let me find it. Can I find it? Okay, so I can watch the clan one. Rainbow socks on my rats, I want it now. Oh yeah, so just because now this part won't be in the this one won't be. Ooh, wait a minute. What about Skaven weapons? Do you guys want to do Skaven weapons, or do you want the clans? What do we want to do? Do we want Skaven weapons or the Great Clans? Clans, yes. It's on the sheet, love. Shut up, Pen. Shut up. But oh yeah, while we're discussing this, I'm just gonna say this on the topic that's controversial. I don't mind the topic itself. I know it's exhausting for a lot of people, and it is exhausting for me too. As long as people can keep it tactful, I don't really care. Because I do think discussion is healthy. The problem that I tend to notice is that people get really vitriolic over something that doesn't really concern them. Because I have a very strong feeling that a lot of people who are expressing their discontent for it are not Custodes collectors anyway. I just get the slight inclination that they're not. So I don't think that they even have a hand in caring about it. But they care about it. You should create a poll. Yes. Behold the Great Rat Clan Rodents, Tactful Warhammer. Either is good, just more rats. Yes, yet. I vote inventions, weapons. Clan, both good to me. Clans, yes. Weapon. Oh my god. All right, I guess I'll make a poll. Okay. Engage with your audience. Start a poll. If you put a helmet on them, it's the same model. Shh, don't ruin their fantasy. Okay. Start a poll. Which next? Clans. Weapons. All right, well, well, it looks like clans. Clan Molder are the IKEA rats. Well, I also want to do the Drakari video. I do want to do the Drakari video too. But after this one, I want to do something that's not Warhammer themed. So what I'm probably gonna do is we'll do the clan video, then we'll do some Dylan. We'll do some good old Dylan. Oh, and maybe some mini Minutemen too. Vote yes, vote true. Looks like clans are winning. I just get riled up when people have BS arguments. I'm happy to discuss things intellectually, but if your argument's based on falsehoods or but that's kind of the problem, right? A lot of it comes from a place. I don't want to say a place of ignorance because people take that negatively. Because I don't mean ignorance isn't like stupidity. I just mean ignorance isn't like being uninformed. Because like whenever something comes out, like here's the crazy part, right? Like the hottest take I could ever give, and I know that this will get flamed in the comment section, and that's okay. One of the quotes that people always make when they're gatekeeping and get very upset over stuff like the female custodies, they'll be like, "Look at what Taurus did to Star Wars," and I'm gonna be like this. Taurus didn't do anything to Star Wars. Taurus did not do a damn thing to Star Wars. I was an old fan of Star Wars, right? I've loved it since the original. I remember seeing the Phantom Menace, not Phantom Menace. Oh, it's the Phantom. But the prequel trilogy. I remember seeing that in theaters. But like nothing changed about what the people who love Star Wars like got. Everything that they always had is still there. The only thing that really happened that was negative, and again, it's literally a statement, it doesn't actually change anything, was that the extended universe was retconned. Right? Like the extended universe was made not canon in the books. That's the only thing that really I'm not 40. I'm not 40. I'm not 40 at all. But I didn't see the first one. I saw like the second or the third part of the trilogy in theaters. Okay, I was a little kid. But no. So it was bad writing and corporate meddling. But what I'm trying to say, it only screwed over new Star Wars. Like the people who would have been happy that if nothing else came out have exactly the same amount of content that they enjoy, regardless of what happened. That's what I mean, right? Like, if they only like the original trilogy, they don't need anything else. So anything else that comes out for new people doesn't affect them. Like, I think that the new trilogy of movies is terrible. I think Rogue One is one of the worst movies I've ever watched. I screamed in the theater at it because of how bad it was. But I don't care because I still enjoy the older Star Wars movies. It didn't take away anything. They just added more. They added garbage, sure. But it doesn't ruin Star Wars because they didn't go and take the old movies and say, yeah, these don't exist. Like, oh yeah, we deleted them from your eyes. Don't listen to them. They're just jealous that they weren't there to see the birth of the internet. Like, shut up, homie. Shut up. I'm not that old. That's why the fan base at large, but that's totally fine, right? Like, I don't think that it's a big deal to disregard the sequels. I refuse to even like watch I watched the first two of the newest trilogy. I refuse to watch the third one just because of how bad they were. Not because I care or have this deep-seated need to have this like chat, right? No matter the gender, helmet stays on during sex. Thank you, Orlok. But like, no, I just don't, I don't think people really ever think of it that way. They're just like, okay, something I like was ruined. Like, it really wasn't, right? So I talk about this with Marvel, right? I was a diehard fan of Marvel. I wanted to be an illustrator for Marvel when I was growing up. I loved it. Back when I was pursuing art, I wanted to intern there. It was everything I wanted, right? And then Disney acquired it. And I know Disney does ruin things in the sense of that they mass market things, right? And you get fatigue. So like that's the worst part about like the Marvel experience is that the fatigue of all of it everywhere. But it doesn't change any of the old stuff. It doesn't change the Secret Wars. It doesn't change the comics I got from my uncle and got to enjoy. The things I enjoyed are still there. They're still exactly the same. Like those things are not taken away. And that's one of the things that people really need to understand. When these things happen to your hobby, it's not killing your hobby. Like, it brings new life into your hobby, and trying to keep people out of a hobby over something that does not necessarily affect you in any way, shape, or form, it does just close your hobby off. And it doesn't make your hobby better because your hobby will eventually die. Like, that is the truth. Like, the hobby will eventually die if you don't bring new people in. New people can like different parts of the hobby than you. But if you close it off, you will let your hobby die. How much art you make per day? Me? I don't make any art anymore. I stopped pursuing art and went into medicine. What pisses me off is that every single time they throw a tantrum about what you never hear actual arguments, just logical fallacies. There's no discussion because people are. Well, the thing is that they're also then met immediately with extreme backlash too. I try not to be extremely like harsh on it, even though I've been on the receiving end of people who are like gatekeepers to me, because I do believe giving benefit of the doubt to an extent. And I think that people, I do think you'll get people who come into a hobby that will appreciate what it is. Like, I appreciate what Warhammer is, right? I appreciate what it is. I understand people not wanting change, and I think there are valid reasons for not wanting change. But if the change doesn't affect you, I don't really see why not. The most the change would ever affect you is if you're playing tabletop and then somebody is versing you with a Custodes team or a Custodes army and has a female Custode on the field, and then like, you know, she dumpsters your army and then you're just personally scarred forever. But like, other than that, I don't really see how it affects you. GW ruining that entry level for Warhammer 40k is like $1,000 nowadays. I think I technically have enough for a small army, right? And my small army value is like 300, I think, right? You hear BB? Yeah, BB's crying in the background. Oh, my bad. Asking for what? You didn't ask a stupid question. What did you ask? Oh, how much are you yesterday? That's not stupid. It's not stupid at all. No, I used to paint murals in Brooklyn back in the day. What is going on with the BB? I'm guessing she's hungry. BB wants Thankful back on the screen. BB wants the rats back. Yeah, BB wants the rats back. So his EU was put down by Disney, but was diseased because of the game. You know, that's kind of right. So like the extended universe definitely was put down by Disney. That was a really ridiculous thing. I'm gonna check on BB in a second. I know where this goes, how much I've spent on Warhammer. Good. People who personally invested in a setting tend to feel hurt when they see something they think of as off. No, I get that, and expressing concern over it is totally fine, right? Like it's totally fine. It's a matter of when it reaches that threshold where it's not discussion and feeling like negative about something anymore, when it becomes hateful and explosive, which is one of the things I've kind of noticed about when it comes to all of this. That's when it's problematic. It's totally fine to disagree with and not like things. I was talking last night with Wisdom about how I still think that they're going to bring back Sanguinius, even though I would not like it. And we were talking about the only way that they could really do it that wouldn't make everybody pissed off. People would still be pissed off, don't get me wrong. Would be they have to use Sanguinor to be the spirit of Sanguinius, and then the little soul fragment of Horus that's back. They have to have one epic battle and they both have to die. That's the only way that you can have that happen, but I still feel that Sanguinius will come back at some point, as in some capacity. It's like Fallout. I'm an old fan of everything. Fallout 4 onward really is in my bag, but I don't screech about it like a toddler. Yeah, no, absolutely. See, I don't think 4 or 76 hold a candle to New Vegas or 3, or even the previous ones, right? But I still enjoy them to an extent. I still think that 4 is more fun than most games on the market. It's just not fun for a Fallout game. Oh, hello. Is she okay? Okay, hang on. Hold on, chat. Okay, I'm back. Man, I love how, like, I step away because, like, baby was crying. I come back and, like, 70 people just excommunicate themselves. Like, holy crap. I wasn't got that long, was I? Jeez. Baby wants my attention all the time. No, like, she was screaming and Yura was stressing out. Yeah, no, she's fine. She was just freaking out and screaming because she wanted to eat, and then Yura couldn't actually get to the bottle for her. So I needed to grab one because Yura's like locked into the room because she has holding the baby. She can't get to the gate. And it was, yeah, BB's fine. BB's fine. No, dude, YouTube viewers legitimately lack object permanence. Like, I need to have, like, something on the screen that, like, super stimulates people. It needs to be, like, Subway Surfer whenever I'm gonna commission an artist to make an animation of me doing Subway Surfer so I can put it on this screen to entertain, like, the short attention span individuals while I'm gone. Dancing Lions, glad BB's good. Chatter Warrior Words. No, I love that. I love that. Tetra baby sensory video would go hard. What does that even mean? Oh, you mean like just like something on the screen to censor everybody, to keep everybody entertained? Yeah.
Warhammer has...
All right, let me get the video ready. Is this stream gonna be members only? I don't think so. I don't think so. It should be fine. It should be fine. We could have an artwork of you as a Skaven with a rattling gun and Yura being an ammo holder. That'd be fun. It wouldn't really. I mean, I don't know. All right. Anyway, let me get the video going. Okay. Sorry, the lion color that's just taking care of BB. No, like, the thing is that anything that's not like super stimulating right away won't work, right? Like, having anything with BRB on the screen won't matter, right? Like, I can have anything I want on the screen, it will not matter. It needs to be something that's actively moving and doing stuff, because again, you leave, like, I left for 5 minutes, right? And in 5 minutes, I need to express 5 minutes, over 30% of viewership vanishes. I know it's normal and I'm used to it, but sometimes it is just wild to see. It is wild to see. Anyway, though, we've got another Skaven video. Let's start going, because I want to make sure I get more videos done in case anything else happens. I've got a massive headache right now. Okay. Okay. Look at that. It is our favorite Primarch, Vulcan. I kid, of course. All right, give me 1 second. I just gotta check one last thing. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back again. Oh, my fucking head hurts like crazy. Alright, let's get the video started. Why is there a random sheep mixed in with all the rats? Anyway.
Warhammer has a lot of rats. There's plenty of normal rats to go around in any of the settings, because be it the 41st millennium or the magical mortal realms, these little critters are hard to get rid of. It's so far only Alberta that has managed to remain free of them in real life. In 40k, there's ratlings, which are granted actually hobbits, but rats in the name and they're little fellas, so they still kinda count. And of course, there's
this little, look at him, he's such a cute little guy. Also, Cowboy, I saw the meme, it's very funny. Also, I don't know if you guys saw the meme that Cowboy dropped yesterday in there. Oh my god. The Russian meme goes so hard. I hate it so much. It goes so hard. Alright, anyway, back to the video.
Skaven, the premier ratman of Warhammer Fantasy and Age of Sigmar, and one of the more unique things GW has ever created. God bless the people that decided to give rats machine guns, because that's very fun. But
Yes.
even these despicable morons have to have some form of organization. Their main idea for things may be throwing rats at a problem until it's solved, but they have to all have some vague agreement that a certain thing is a
Louder.
problem to do that.
Really?
Thus we come to the various clans of Skavendom. A few of them are different flavors of mad scientists, wielding either technology beyond the realm of sanity or creating the most horrific abominations that would make Frankenstein look tame. Others are sneaky ninjas, darting in and out of the shadows to achieve what they want. And more still subscribe to the time-tested method of outnumbering the enemy 100 to 1 and drowning them with pure weight of rats more than anything else. The clans of Skavendom are beautiful to behold in the way only absolutely horrid things can be, so let's take a look at the different clans of them you can expect to find in the Warhammer world. But before we start, a quick shout out to Minimaker, this video's sponsor. What's Mini...
Again, here we are. Once again. Okay, wait.
Day. Now then, time to invest in rat poison. To
Yay,
start
rat
off, I should
poison.
say that there are untold thousands of Skaven clans even before we get to Age of Sigmar, where their numbers started reaching the singularity. Some of them are truly massive, numbering in the hundreds of thousands of rats. Others are just a few isolated
We are the
vermin with
rats.
maybe a single good thing going for them. Most of them, however, take influence from one of the great clans, which is what we'll be talking about today. It's not a hard set rule that the Skaven clans are all copies of
Man, I
a
wanna
greater
play Age
one.
of Mythology
There's
now,
one
or
clan,
Age of
Clan
Empires.
Rictus, that has its claim to fame in the form of tolls they force on anyone entering or leaving the Darklands. Another,
Okay. The little assassin one? Love it.
Clan Scurvy, are exactly what you think they are, pirate rats. There are as many things for a Skaven clan to be about as there are Skaven clans out there, because while the rats love to steal things from everyone else, they also get up to plenty of wacky nonsense when left to their own devices. But the great clans, as you can expect from the name, have such massive amounts of influence that their cultures and more leak into the rest of Skavendom. So for the sake of simplicity, we'll focus today on those great clans, as well as one other particular highlight. Starting us off, we have... Welcome
Okay.
to Rat Raytheon, young engineering major. Say goodbye to your moral code and say hello to making new and exciting ways to detonate dwarfs. Fair's fair,
Oh.
though. The words Skaven and moral code were never together to begin with. Clan Scryer is the wealthiest Skaven clan out of all of them, and
They're
one of
wealthy?
the four
I love how the plague doctors are the wealthiest ones. What the heck?
remaining great clans. Their power lays in both the realm of mundane technology as well as arcane might, and given how prevalent warpstone is in Skaven society, those things frequently overlap. To give you an idea as to how prolific they are, pretty much every Skaven weapon out there was created by these guys. Rattling guns, Jezzails, mortars, warp fire throwers, doom wheels that run down the enemy, artillery cannons that can destroy the moon. If it's anything more than a rusty
I wanna
spear,
learn
it
about the moon
probably
thing.
came
They
from a
keep saying
Scryer
that.
workshop. Don't take that to mean that Clan Scryer only makes weapons, though, because there's plenty of non-violent things they make as well, as much as a shocker as it may sound for a Skaven to make non-lethal creations. The warp lights that allow the rats to see in their tunnels are another invention of theirs, as is the warp rail that connects the entire Under Empire. That's right, the Skaven have subways. It was Clan Scryer digging machines that excavated those rail networks as well.
They're
Clan
rat
Scryer is so
mechanicus?
powerful and rich because they make the things the lore doesn't focus on, those little things that you logically know need to exist, but they're boring, so they aren't really talked about. Their influence runs deep because of how widespread their stuff is, and though no Skaven clan has ever quite taken down all the others, Clan Scryer's in a position to cause perhaps the most damage if they went rogue, only matched by one other. Really, they could just stop selling stuff to everyone. The only people that might have the power to force them are the Grey Seers, given that they're the mouth of the Horned Rat and all that. Everyone else has to pay top dollar for Scryer weapons.
You know, that's actually something that's really interesting. We have not discussed the Horned Rat at all. Like, in any of the videos that we've discussed the Skaven, I have yet to see. I was thinking about the Skaven art too, is that the last picture was really cool. But, like, we haven't talked about the Great Horned Rat in any capacity in any of the videos yet. I know nothing about them other than the fact that they're their personal god.
Because for all that it is still Skaven equipment and therefore prone to exploding, Scryer does good work. Would you rather be a Skaven clan with access to Rattling guns or one banned from ever touching one of the things? That's how Scryer stays in business. I was tempted to say that Clan Scryer is one of the more dangerous Skaven clans to be a part of, but then I thought about it, and that's an almost meaningless statement. All Skaven clans churn through rats like popcorn. That doesn't mean anything to say one is particularly dangerous. Instead, here's their specific way of getting themselves killed. Because Clan Scryer is all about engineering projects, they naturally spend a lot of time researching. Now, even in the real world, sometimes things go wrong. Just look at the Demon Core.
Dude, I remember learning about this thing, and then that this guy actually was using a screwdriver to pry up the core of a nuclear weapon. Like, if I remember correctly, right, doesn't either the screwdriver slide off at one point or something like that, and he knew that he had died? Like, I remember something had happened, and he was aware that that meant he was going to die. The screwdriver thing was insane. The Skaven want to destroy the moon because it's made of warpstone. They really want the magic rocks from space. Okay.
Or a slip of a screwdriver and everyone in that room became a dead man walking. Clan Scryer is that, but not only do the rats not care if you blow up, sometimes you blowing up is either the point or a happy accident they're going to put more research into. Health and safety protocols do not exist, for such things are not the Skaven way. Clan Scryer's research, even for the most mundane of things, involves a body count of the dozens, if not hundreds, and for some of this stuff, it's absolutely reaching the thousands. Cool. I would guarantee you that Rattling guns were tested on thousands of Skaven slaves before they were ever deployed to the field. And Skaven engineering being what it is, even the non-weapon things they create are probably rickety pieces of garbage that only work just well enough to be sellable to other rats. The life of a warlock engineer and his acolytes are one fraught with peril, not even from other rats necessarily, but from their own deranged experiments. Other rats will, of course, also try to kill them the moment they look like their research is going to succeed, though. Why do all that troublesome research yourself when you can kill the guy who did, copy his notes
With the gunpowder thing, I think it was a little different. I believe that like a Chinese scientist was trying to create like a potion for like immortality, or not immortality, or some ridiculous concoction that ended up being explosive, right? And that's how gunpowder was made. I don't know if that was like a wives' tale, but I was pretty sure that's how gunpowder was conceived. Like it was something that was concocted, meant for something completely separate, and ended up being explosive.
Roughly accurately and take credit. But all of this is irrelevant. If a warplock engineer can make one moderately successful project, be it a weapon or something like those warp lights to assist the Skaven in day-to-day life with, he will be rich beyond his beliefs as he milks it for everything it's worth. More importantly for the whole, Clan Scryer will be able to profit from his inventions as they sell it to the rest of the Under Empire. 10,000 dead slaves and a few dozen dead warlocks is nothing compared to the amount of warp tokens that can be raked in as a result of a new invention, and every warlock wants to be the one to invent it and take credit for it, more importantly. And Scryer technology, for how unreliable it is genuinely more advanced than anyone else's. The dwarfs will occasionally use oil in some projects like their gyrocopters and the Spirit of Grungni, and they do have some trains. The Skaven, meanwhile, have invented Skype, underground rail networks, and energy weapons. Even from their point of view, Scryer tech can be unreliable, but that's where the difference between people and Skaven comes in. A human army outfitting their soldiers with weapons that have a 1/3 chance of exploding would be seen as cruel and evil, as well as just wasteful. To the Skaven, who cares if they explode? As long as Scryer stuff kills at least a few enemies enemies before it takes out your gunners, and it's almost certainly reliable enough to do at least that, it did the job it needed to. Of course, the likelihood of something going wrong tends to scale with how grand a piece of tech it is, but that just means you have to be farther away from it when it's deployed. And really, did you want to be next to the Warpstone nuclear bomb when it went off anyways? Clan Scryer is in fantasy ruled by Morse guitar. There's not much known about this rat, but as a member of the Council of 13, you can safely assume he's incredibly smart, dangerous, and cunning. In fact, he's over 400 years old and once was able to declare himself the Emperor of Skavenblight during their second civil war. Scryer technology may be the only thing keeping him around, but at the end of the day, it is keeping him around, proving his capability as an engineer. And by virtue of being a Skaven 400 years old, you can assume he knows how to handle any upstart underling acolytes that might try and take credit from him, or as it were, keep him from taking their credit. For one last thing, I would theorize that Clan Scryer interacts with non-Skaven non-violently more often than most other clans do, because the thing about Skaven research and development is that as often as not, it involves stealing stuff from the other races. If they can get their hands on a dwarf cannon, they don't have to go through the rigmarole of designing a whole cannon. They just have to jam it full of warpstone and see what happens when they fire it. So it benefits them to be, if not sneaky, then much more directed with their assaults. Non-violently interacting is definitely not the best way to put it, but essentially they aren't attacking you because it's part of a glorious scheme to bring about Skavendom's rise to power. Not just because of that anyways. They probably just want your stuff and are more than happy to kill you to get to it.
Yeah, fair. Oh, this is the one you said I would like, right?
The other mad scientist clan, this one being for the Frankenstein Fellows. An ancient clan, their origins date back as far as negative 1450 in the imperial calendar, when one of the surviving Skaven, after they accidentally blew up most of the Under Empire, marched northwards and founded the city of Hellpit. With the area being right on the border of Norska, and therefore close to the Chaos Wastes, all sorts of lovely abominations can already be found here. The forebears of Clan Moulder took one look at all these monsters and thought to themselves, how can we make them even worse? The capital of Hellpit is rich with warpstone as well, further allowing them to do their grisly work. Clan Moulder has sure enough become a great clan by virtue of how many different kinds of beasties they create in their lab to sell. Their packmasters will scoop up any suitably interesting creature they find and take it back to a Master Moulder's lair to experiment on, and experiment is only the word I'm using because I can't really think of a better one. Torture is a good way to describe it in all honesty. They'll just poke and prod in a creature's insides, adding and removing bits to see what happens, and then when it almost inevitably dies, they'll round up another one and start over again. This is one of the more horrific of Skaven clans because of their focus on biological experiments. When Clan Scryer experiments with a new piece of tech, the danger is that it'll blow up in their face. When Clan Moulder has a new formula for warp steroids to test, they're kidnapping animals and people to experiment on with. Though any clans can do it, Clan Moulder is one that especially likes to go up and kidnap entire villages Dark Eldar style. One second everyone is going about their day, the next the village is a ghost town. The buildings are untouched, food can still be found.
Off topic, but kind of on topic. So my friend messaged me, and she's the sweetest thing in the world. She's like, I've learned so much about Warhammer just from watching you with the baby, because you know her son is my biggest fan. Okay, and she's like, I've learned so much about Warhammer from just watching you. And she's like, my favorite, I think, is the blonde guy who looks like Alucard. And I'm just like, ooh, he's dead. And she's like, no, I didn't remember that part. She liked Sanguinius. She liked the golden boy.
Half-eaten on plates, but all the people are gone, spirited away to Hellpit to be turned into something horrific. Hellpit itself is layered like a cake, or more accurately, layered like hell in Dante's Inferno. 9 different levels of atrocities await anyone coming to this place, naturally getting worse and worse as you go down further. Just to get in, there's a river of lava you have to pass, guarded by a rat guardian who glows bright green with warpstone. After that, you start running into all sorts of nasties created by the smartest of Master Moulders.
The perfect
to be quite
dead
frank,
boy.
if you're here, you're either going to become one of those nasties or become food for one of those nasties. Though if you're real unlucky, you might get molded into the walls of Hellpit. They can do that apparently, and yes, you are still alive and in agony when it happens. For what practical purpose this serves, I don't know, because Skaven aren't like the Dark Eldar in that they get physical and spiritual nourishment from suffering like that. I think they genuinely just like doing that to people. All of this is supported by Clan Moulder selling their creations to other races. Everyone wants a kaiju on their side side in a war, and Clan Moulder is making, if not Godzilla, then at least a decent approximation of him, with a ratty theme for flavor. The least impressive thing they export are just hungry rat swarms, likely slightly mutated at least by warpstone exposure and general experimentation. Though most Skaven can't actually control rats, some Moulder Packmasters can, and will send them scurrying towards the enemies of Skavendom for an appropriate price. Others are far more obvious in their value. Rat ogres are aptly named and can tear apart the enemies of the Skaven, as well as other Skaven, and Clan Moulder charges a high price because of this. They know everyone wants one. Hellpit abominations are the cream of the crop, costing the highest price but also being one of the most powerful weapons a Skaven warlord could hope to command. If you'll excuse some more theory crafting, I would have to assume that part of Clan Moulder's marketability is that once you buy a creature, it's pretty low maintenance. Just throw it in a big enough cage or hole and feed it some Skaven slaves every now and again. Easy peasy. Whoever has to let it out when it's time for war is also probably getting eaten, but such is the life of the humble clan rat. Clan Moulder is also perfectly happy to do custom jobs if you ask them politely and bribe them enough. Master Moulders are nothing if not artistic with the liberties they take when experimenting on living creatures. Maybe you want your monsters to be especially armored. Thicker skin and metal can be bolted onto it for just a measly few dozen more extra warp tokens. Maybe you want your monsters to also have guns. Well, that's gonna run you the big bucks since that was a clan scry or collaboration project, but Stormfeeds are wanted perhaps more than even rat ogres, so that can be done too. But maybe you're also a free-spirited rat and want your Clan Moulder contact to do whatever he wants and show you the result. He's gonna happily march back to his workshop, spin a wheel a few times, and add whatever it lands on to his monstrous creation. You're either gonna get upcharged to high hell because he'll lie to you about the work that went in, or you may get a special discount for letting an aspiring artist work on his magnum opus. Either way, it's guaranteed to be horrific, and
Moulder is so good at his job that it makes genuine species. Northern Kislev has a wild population of rat wolves and rat ogres because
it'll probably be lethal to at least the first person you sick it on. The Skaven of Clan Moulder themselves are an odd bunch, especially mutated by Chaos Waste energy as well as constant warpstone exposure, even by Skaven standards. Rampant hunger, extra limbs, and more are not uncommon to see, and sometimes the line between Clan Moulder mutant and Clan Moulder creation is functionally irrelevant. Throughout the Unclean has 3 arms, warpstone jammed in his eye, and in his own words, endless hunger. The Packlord of Moulder's Verminkin, who sits on the Council of 13, is technically 2 rats sharing one lumpy, misshapen, mutated body.
Really?
They frequently argue with each other and would no doubt try to kill each other if it weren't for the fact that aside from the 2 different heads, they've all got the same organs. Fratricide is a lot harder to pull off when it's also suicide. One last thing of note is that Clan Moulder is the best place to be a physically frail Skaven. If you have brains, they'll support your endeavors, not because they actually care about you, but because a smart, if physically weak, Master Moulder can still create profitable monsters. To be absolutely clear, this is not charity. If you can't immediately prove you're smart enough or capable enough in some way to make up for being a runt, you are now food for someone's monsters. But if you can quickly prove your brain is worth the lack of brawn, they'll probably keep you around.
Eshin.
Master Splinter hasn't been the same since he took
this is the Ninja Clan? Yeah, no, these are the ones I like.
Smoking crack. Clan Eshin is the stealthy branch of the Skaven Under Empire, specializing in everything from hit-and-run tactics and war to high-stakes espionage and assassination. Calling any one Skaven clan the most feared is tricky because they can all do horrid things to you when crossed, but the threat of a Clan Eshin assassination is something that always hangs over any properly paranoid Skaven warlord's head. Founded by Lord Visktrin, who never got to see the heights his clan would reach on account of running into a dragon, Clan Eshin's forebearers traveled far to the east to Cathay and Nippon. There, for reasons that I
They're Japanese rats!
Fathom, some of them decided it was a good
Japanese
idea to
rats!
teach mangy, rabid, evil rats how to be ninja assassins. There was even lore that at one point a Clan Eshin member was an advisor to Cathay. The Dragon Emperor must have been on a bender when that was allowed. For a while they were thought lost to Skaven kind, but after a few hundred years they slunk back into Skaven blight, set up a den, and became the chief spies and assassins of Skavendom. Clan Eshin, much like the rest of the Skaven, have 2 modes, but they're particularly pronounced contrast with these guys. They have comedy mode and utter horror mode.
Oh.
For the former, where else but Gotchick and Felix displays it the best. When some Clannesh and Gutter runners tried to assassinate Gotchick and Felix, they barely made it to Gottrick. And this was in the early books, so it was before Felix was properly terrifying in his own way. Even in spite of that, the entire assassination attempt reads like a Three Stooges bit. Rats tripped over each other, tripped over furniture, tripped over Felix, tripped onto their weapons. The entire event probably only took about 20 seconds, and by the end of it, almost all of the rats were dead. Their leader escaped, only to later be obliterated by Thanquol for the crime of being vaguely annoying to Thanquol.
Fair.
On the other hand, enter Deathmaster Snikch. Deathmaster Snikch is like a rat version of the alien from Alien. He wields 3 swords of warpstone to super kill enemies dead. He can supposedly teleport using shadows and come out of them at will. He supposedly once assassinated an Empire official.
Best body pillow of choice. Just saying, I have a body pillow. Just saying, I do have Dockies in the merch store. Just saying, just saying.
Yet the guy's door was locked the whole time, and that was the only entrance, so how the hell did he get in? He supposedly can be anywhere at any time, and you'll never know. All of this supposedly talk is intentionally cultivated by Clan Eshin's higher-ups, because it adds to his terrifying reputation. Clan Eshin assassins completely unrelated to Snikch will carve his mark on the bodies of their targets just to further his legend. Presumably they don't complain about this because they're worried Snikch
I like how
might
he's basically
pay them
Roar
a visit
Norazora
for trying to rise above their station. For all that they are assassins, they do still have units to play as large groups on tabletop. Night Runners are skirmishers that have been given the barest amount of stealth training and taught how to throw shurikens and pointy rocks at people. This training, mind you, includes stealing money from blind homeless people, and it has been noted that sometimes these homeless are apparently not only not blind, but proficient in martial arts. Clan Eshin is either rampantly incompetent on most levels, or exclusively trains against out-of-work D&D adventurers. Feel free to assume whichever is funnier to you is true. Gutter Runners, meanwhile, are when a Clan Eshin rat can just about grasp concepts like actually sneaking, and are therefore much more dangerous. They can be armed with more than just weapons. Poison is a common thing for them to carry, as well as nets to trip enemies up on the battlefield or in their rooms to make the kill all the easier.
I'm sure the last
and of
two
course, a
factions
full-blown Eshin assassin is where the jump from goofy rat person to Michael Myers if he was a rat occurs. In day-to-day life, Clan Eshin deals in information gathering as much as killing people. Information is a valuable commodity, especially in the treachery-ridden Skaven world, and Clan Eshin will sell out their services to spy on rival Skaven warlords to anyone who can meet their price. Of course, they also may be on the payroll of the guy you're trying to spy on, so caution is always warranted. The Council of 13 makes frequent usage of Eshin services, spying on those near and far for their interests. Their den in Skavenblight is a fairly humble thing, but no one knows what goes on inside of it. Any Skaven that wanders too close tends to disappear, and you can assume all sorts of Home Alone-style traps with a lot more lethality in mind absolutely litter the place. They appear incredibly unified by Skaven standards, but that might just be because we rarely see the inner machinations of the clan. When a Clan Eshin character makes an appearance in a book, they're just as cowardly as other Skaven, so they'll certainly still sell out their fellows to save their own skin. It might just be we don't see the descent in
love the art. The art's actually fantastic. Although I will say, this picture bothers me. Every time I see this picture, it looks like he's biting through his arm. I know that's not the case. I know it's just because of the way that it's angled. It just looks like he's biting through his arm, and it bothers me. And I can't, like, unsee it.
Well, it's a lot harder to be horror movie villains when everyone knows your group is just as full of bumbling morons as theirs is. Clan Eshin overall is a fairly mysterious clan with only so much to be discussed, but I want to make it clear that they are to the rest of the Skaven an utterly terrifying force. When the Second Skaven Civil War broke out, they were able to not only remain neutral in the conflict as a whole, but hired themselves out to all sides and make a profit
he is
without
actually biting his
getting
arm.
retaliated on en masse. In the first book of Thanquol's omnibus, he regarded the local ruler of Clan Eshin in Underaltorf as the greatest single threat he had to face, at least in terms of combatants. That is how terrifying the Skaven of Clan Eshin are to the rest of the Under Empire. And though it was end times nonsense, it was Deathmaster Snikch who snuck into Thorgrim's escape chamber and killed him because he left the door open. They really can be anywhere, and you may only know you've been targeted by Eshin when an assassin comes to snuff out your life. Oh, and they also really love poison. There's a rat named Ricketic that's compiled a way to kill almost everything in the Warhammer world, mostly with poison. Funny thing is, he sat down with some Imperial scholar and casually told him all about his knowledge. I don't think he even killed the guy afterwards. He just really loved talking about his craft, and his craft happened to be poisoning people. That's oddly sweet, isn't it? At least by Skaven standards. This is the other Skaven clan that provokes a sense of fear in Skaven outside of it. However, where Clan Eshin does it by having the potential to jump scare you at any given moment, the fear of Clan Pestilence comes from two distinct sources. One is their defining feature, that being their diseases, but the other is something I bet you didn't expect to hear shouted outside of 40k or maybe by witch hunters. Heresy. The most obvious trait about Clan Pestilence is their disease-ridden everything. The origins of the clan come during a period of expansion and migration. Their forebearers, whose original clan name is lost to time, ventured under the oceans themselves for generations. This was generations in
You're diseased, boys. They're something. The definitely not Nurgle rats. The
Skaven
definitely
terms
not
granted,
Nurgle rats.
so like a couple of decades, but that's still a pretty decent amount of time. When they finally arrived at their destination, they realized across the ocean lay the land of Lustria. Lustria, the home of the lizardmen, is not exactly receptive to outside guests. The land itself is a murderous jungle like Katakan and 40k, if the whole thing was also magical. Plus, the lizardmen are space marine-sized lizard people that can and will rip you apart for showing up. They lucked out on avoiding the lizardmen, but when they arrived at the ruined city of Ketsa, the local disease ravaged the clan. At a certain point, barely 100 of them remained, and from here the lore diverges into what I personally call the Fun Skaven route and the GW Hard-On for Chaos route. In the Fun Skaven route, they began worshipping the diseases that ravaged them. If these diseases were ravaging them,
I still don't know anything about them. I want to know.
Rats will, and so they
is okay. So with the Great Horned Rat though, like, do we have any like context as to like how he came into being? Like, is that lore available to us? Like, I want to know. I want to know about like how he became a thing. Like, was it just that he just, was it just a normal Skaven who ascended? Was it just a concept that became this being? I want to know. I want to know the answer to that one. That's him, but yeah, I want to know. All right, I'll put it back on. Filthy heretics in my Skaven society is more likely than you think. Boo Chaos, we want the the fun ratty version. Average Saurus warrior, oh shoot, rat. He just became, oh, okay.
Would instead embrace this disease as the true aspect of their deity, that of a filthy, disease-ridden carrier of destruction. In the Hard-On for Chaos route, there was a great unclean one under the city they started worshipping as an aspect of the Horned Rat. Same end result, but one is more Skaven insanity and an alternative to Nurgle if you like diseases, whereas the other is more of chaos actually being the origin the whole time. Regardless, their numbers grew, they cultivated quite the knowledge of disease, and after a while they returned back to the old world and Skavendom proper. When they showed back up, they immediately demanded things like territory and breeding rights because Skaven are awful, massive amounts of warpstone as tribute because Skaven are greedy, and a seat on the Council of 13 because you might as well shoot for the moon. Predictably, everyone told Clan Pestilence to piss off. Rather less predictably for the Skaven, Pestilence responded with biological warfare and swarming them with plague monks. Initially, it was expected that Clan Pestilence could be swiftly dealt with via the old reliable method of Rattling gun spam. Then the disease got worse.
You know, I understand that all the Chaos Gods kind of already were a thing, right? And I know that, like, he was probably there in perpetuity. It's more just a matter of, like, I'm very fascinated by him, and I feel like because it's so obscurely different than the other Chaos Gods, there was maybe some type of origin for it. Like, kind of like how we're getting the Vashtor origin now in 40k. So I was hoping maybe there was like an origin for how some Skaven became a Chaos God.
Then Clan Pestilence obliterated an entire clan in the Southlands. Then hundreds of clans switched over to Pestilence's side. Of course, this is still a Skaven civil war. Much like their engineering, things will go wrong at any possible chance, and in this case it occurred when Clan Eshin had nearly every clan warlord of those that sided with Pestilence assassinated. With this rather upsetting turn of events, Pestilence pleaded for a meeting. It was granted, and the Lord of Pestilence, Plague Lord Nurglich, even managed to actually reach the Council of 13 through the swarm of assassins they sent his way. He was allowed to challenge for a seat on the council, and when he threw the weakest council member off the top of a tower, Clan Pestilence was allowed a seat and became one of the great clans. They would go on to be responsible for the near destruction of both the Empire and Bretonnia through the Black Plague and Red Pox respectively, though both examples eventually also burned through the Skaven ranks at the height of their campaigning and eventually...
Technically he took Slaaneash's spot? Wait, how did he take Slaaneash's spot? Wait, how did that work?
Resulted in a second Skaven civil war. This one was resolved with the Horned Rats personally coming in to make sure everyone almost started behaving, but Pestilence kept their status and power they had gained up to this point. Yes, by the way, you heard that right. The Black Death in Warhammer Fantasy was caused by rats. just so happened to be on purpose this time around. Clan Pestilence is perhaps the Skaven clan least concerned with personal glory. Oh, to be sure, they will take credit for themselves, but at least amongst characters like Lord Skrulk, they'll try and do things for the glory of Clan Pestilence and themselves. To them, the Horned Rat is especially worshipped, as he is their sickly master who will bring ruin to all those who deny his plagued gifts. Working somewhat together will bring the ascension of not only him, of course, but Clan Pestilence as well. This is where the second part of fear against them comes in. Most Skaven view this as a highly heretical stance to take, breaking tradition with how the Horned Rat truly is to be viewed. The problem is Clan Pestilence is, if nothing else, powerful enough to keep themselves around after 2 massive civil wars. So one way or another, calling them heretics in the street and trying to kill them will just result in that Skaven's death. The other more obvious thing is that they're so disgustingly filthy and disease-ridden that standing near them can cause you to melt into sludge. Non-pestilent Skaven are no safer from this than other races, so it's also for practical purpose that this clan is kept at an arm's reach. Clan Pestilence will occasionally try and cook up some super plague to infect the world with, such as with the Red Pox or Black Death. They tried it in Nuln, but that was during a Godric and Felix novel, so you can guess how that panned out for them. When it's time to come out in force, however, they rush down their enemy with countless infected rats that are actually bolstered by their diseases, and the rabid fervor of Clan Pestilence means that they'll run away far later than most other Skaven would. In the end times, this is how they took down the Lizardmen. The magical defenses set up were perfectly tailored to prevent any demon from invading the continent. They were not, however, set up to prevent millions of rats fresh out of Asmongold's basement from invading the land of the lizards. For a final note on them, the obvious connection I brought up pretty quickly. Nurgle. There's a weird relationship between Pestilence and Nurgle, and indeed how much he's involved is up for debate. There is that whole thing about a Great Unclean One essentially creating Clan Pestilence, and for God's sakes, the leader of Clan Pestilence has, to my knowledge, always been called Nurglich, followed by whatever number of Nurglich we're on. On the other hand, the Horned Rat has
in Age of Sigmar, Slaanesh literally got so fat off elf souls, she went comatose. Then a bunch of elves just came in, rolled her away, and imprisoned her. The GHR filled the power vacuum. Wait, the Great Horned Rat filled the power vacuum that followed. So wait. They literally got fat off of... Really? Really? That's so silly.
Repeatedly entered the mortal
means
world,
disease and primal language and magic
is still allowed to exist. You might say that maybe Nurgle's too powerful for him to interfere, but Nurgle was at home and the Horned Rat was in their face. I see no reason that he couldn't interfere if that's what he truly wanted to, and get rid of the clan. So instead, here's some ideas for you to think about. Maybe Nurgle did start Pestilence, but as a disgusting asshole rat, the Great Horned Rat sort of adopted them, and now they feed him. Maybe that was never the case, and the Great Horned Rat was always their daddy. Or maybe it's a sort of team project between Nurgle and the Horned Rat. Skaven have worked with others before, and they joined up with Chaos in the end times to save their own skins. Of course, betrayal is inevitable if that's the case, but that's just more Skaven shenanigans to be had. And whatever
early Age of Sigmar lore nutshell being silly. Didn't people hate Age of Sigmar in the beginning?
Keep your toilets close by, friends, because diarrhea is sure to follow these rats' footsteps. The final Skaven clan we'll talk about is Clan Moors. Now, I'm gonna describe them.
Saying this now, I like their aesthetic the most already. Like, I don't know anything about Clan Moors, but like their aesthetic is already my favorite.
To you, when the thought may creep into your mind that, holy shit, these are Skaven good guys. False. Incorrect. Remove that notion from your mind. There are no Skaven good guys. Such a thing does not exist. The Skaven of Clan Moors are, however, perhaps the closest thing they've ever come to having something resembling a functioning code of ethics and morals. Best way to put it is while the Skaven as a whole are chaotic evil, Clan Moors is lawful evil. The Skaven of Clan Moors, even those from once rival clans, usually end up praising the leader of Clan Moors quickly, Lord Nodwell. As a member of the Council of 13, it's a safe if wrong assumption to make that Nodwell is using all sorts of tactics, from fear to bribery and coercion, or even magical means to keep his clan so loyal to him. In reality, Clan Moors has discovered something the rest of the
That
Skaven
rat looks
have yet
cool.
to
Oh my god.
conceptualize. If you treat your basic clan rats with something almost resembling decency, they will support you over the assholes who throw them into the grinder with a rusty pipe and a command to either fight and maybe die, or run and definitely die. And if you arm them almost halfway acceptably, they can fight better. In Clan Moors, if you can be in any way useful,
is that a
they
rat
will
with a
find
pistol?
a use for you, and rewards to fit that use. Only traitorous or truly feeble Skaven will be found as Skaven slaves amongst Clan Moors. Treachery, speaking of, is actually frowned upon. If you stab your superior in the back and ruin a battle plan, you're getting sent to the slave pits. Of course, if your commander is actually incompetent, or you can make him appear incompetent, then by all means see him killed. Clan Moors aren't good guys, remember. There are still plenty of Skaven slaves to be found there. It mostly reminds me of a Skaven version of Spartan-style training in regards to how they view treachery. If you can get away with it, you're
Their
probably
armors
more
look
cunning
sick.
than the last guy and deserve the spot. But for the non-Skaven slaves, Clan Moors is downright accommodating. Even the basic clan rats are allowed to live in decent-ish barracks and are given weapons and proper training. This has resulted in several things going for them that have caused Clan Moors to have a rather triumphant rise to power.
I would assume so.
In-house, Clan Moors quickly gains the loyalty of any Skaven they capture. Those that surrender immediately are allowed to become members of Clan Moors, and when they see the benefits it offers, they're happy to join. Because unwanted treachery is met with severe punishment, most of the Skaven and Clan Moors behave themselves more often than not. Out of house, part of the allure of Clan Moors is that a Skaven can hope for a better life, an actual proper...
Yeah, it is. It is. It's not a dumb question at all. Literally, this is the Warhammer. This is the Warhammer Fantasy section, Shay. So it is a bit different.
Career path
wanted a
of
little
doing
bit
your
of a
job and
respite.
being promoted through the ranks is entirely possible. It's worked so well that there's worries amongst the other Council of 13 members that even if they have Nodwell assassinated, Clan Moors will just pop out another Skaven to replace them and things will continue on as normal for Moors. There's also the morale drainer of other Skaven realizing who they're fighting. Because more Skaven are actually trained, they tend to fight far more effectively and for far longer without routing. This has in turn given them some good early victories that give them a reputation as fierce combatants. This in turn makes people afraid of Clan Moors because they have a reputation for being fierce combatants, which is again
makes a
at
lot of
least
sense, though.
partially earned. So when Clan Moors comes knocking, many lesser clans will outright surrender. This not only bolsters Clan Moors with more Skaven that will soon be trained to Clan Moors standard, but is yet another victory for Clan Moors to wave around and cow other Skaven into submission with. Their greatest feat yet has undoubtedly been their conquest of the lower levels of Carrick 8 Peaks. Known as the City of Pillars to the Skaven, it's become a vital hub of transportation across the Under Empire. Clan Moors controls at least the lower levels and will make any Skaven attempting to cross it or set up shop pay handsomely. It also means they're constantly fighting both Night Goblins and Dwarfs, owning the skills of this clan's military even further. Speaking of, when deployed to battle, Moors can do a little bit of everything, but they're most well known for their regimented and elite soldiers. Clan Moors' storm vermin are a cut above the rest, and even their lowly clan rats can fight in something resembling the cohesion of an Empire State troop company. Were it not for the end times, Clan Moors would very likely have been either a driving force in Skaven society for change, or at the very least a
Pay no mind to the
catalyst
sound
of yet
effects I
another
wouldn't do.
Skaven civil war. And if you don't mind me saying, I would bet that Clan Moors would be the first time the powers to be of Skaven Blight didn't come out on top. Clan Wars are not good guys. At their kindest, they don't view their fellows as comrades, but as tools to be cultivated, which is still leagues above other Skaven.
I'm totally
such
not
as
looking
Queek
at Skaven
Headtaker's
miniatures.
relationship
Don't
with
mind me.
Nodwell, that of a prized attack dog to be
I
thrown to his
demand the
enemies.
Nagash
But
video.
once
We'll probably
again,
watch it.
it's far better than what the rest of Skavendom has to offer. As for Age of Sigmar, all the great clans have become types of clans. So now it isn't just Clan Eshin, for instance, but the Clans Eshin. They all still act the same way, though. A Skaven is still a Skaven, even if their branding has been diluted just a bit. The only odd man out amongst these clans is Clan Moors, who seem to have vanished. That being said, the clans Verminous seem to be the replacement, and indeed have the same basic shtick of Skaven clan that has better normal troops, so maybe they just rebranded themselves to celebrate the new setting. And those are the major clans of the Skaven.
I loved
some
it.
a bit more regimented, some a bit more
I didn't have a lot of
technological,
commentary for
all
this one. I was just
complete
kind of
and utter
listening, which is
assholes.
nice.
And
But
remember,
like, I was just
even
enjoying
the
it, to
weakest
be
of
honest with you.
Skaven clans can be found right underneath your house at this very moment. Thank you as always to my wonderful channel members. You are the great clans to my Skaven Under Empire, standing out just that little bit prouder than all the rest. If you'd like to support the channel, feel free to subscribe or become a member. Either way, thank you for watching and take care out there.
Totally didn't add something Skaven related. Would never do such a thing. That would be silly. That would be silly. I'm waiting. What? He's not saying anything. Why is there no fancy ending? Is that it?
Alright, you gotta pick one. You either have to fight one Storm Vermin or 10 Skaven slaves on the verge of death by starvation. I'm taking the Storm Vermin. Logically, he's probably quite well fed and could kill me, but I bet I can talk my way out of it. Not by appealing to his morals or anything. God, no, he's still a Skaven. But I bet I can BS my way into convincing him there's a gray seer right behind him, or that his stash of warp tokens has been discovered. Either way, I can then get out of there. Those 10 Skaven slaves, meanwhile, may'll go down in a single hit, but they're gonna be vicious and ready to die for the slightest bit of food, which would be me. Even if I do win that fight, I'm coming out of it with rabies at the least.
Fair. Very fair. Very fair. Okay. No, we're not watching Lizardmen right now. We're not watching Lizardmen right now. Okay, all right. Let me put on some music. Huh. That was great.
Warhammer has a lot of...
No, stop it. Pancreas, stop. Bad. Okay, let me pull up. I do like Cody Bond's noob guides videos on Queek, Ikit, Snitch, and Throt. The Doom Wheel look cool. I'm taking Storm Vermin 100% of the time. I mean, a bullet to the head still kills him, doesn't it? Skaven War Engine machines are greatest of all. Yes, War Boss, save your money. I just wanted to put one up because it looked really cool. It just looked really cool, okay? Literally, I'd be like, oh, you know what? This one's neat. I like the Skaven a lot. The Skaven and Tomb Lords are really cool. Which clan, Tetra? I don't think it actually has a clan. It's just Doom Wheel. Because like somebody asked us before, like, how would I build an army, right? And I forgot who it was that described that what I like is the rule of cool. I don't worry about armies. I just like specific miniatures. Although if I did have an army, I think I have a patrol size of Dark Angels, and I will have enough to make a Drakari army with the next thing. It's already 30. You did 30%? War Boss, what the hell? Doom for a Doom Wheel. I just find them neat. Yeah, I just find them neat. But I like the Tomb Lords. The Tomb Lords, I think, aesthetically are my favorite. But hold on, I'm gonna get the next video ready, and then I'm gonna go check on the baby in Yura. Ooh, I don't know. I'm gonna have to watch. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I don't know if there's gonna be enough in. I'm trying to think. Actually, no. Maybe this could work. Tomb Kings. Yay! What did I say? Tomb Lords? Yeah, Tomb Kings. Okay. Give me 1 second. We're going to be right back. I'll be back in like 2 minutes. I'm just going to check on my child and my wife. Behave and be normal. Yeah, that was my plan all along. Ha ha ha. You know, I intended to be muted this entire time. You know, you did a funny. What did you do? What did you guys do? Muted silence. Well, excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What funny did you do? I'm back. I had an appointment with the VA rep. I hope it went well. I hope it went well. No one tell her? Oh, okay. What did you guys do? Dot Scuff strikes once more. Well, I am the well, I try to say the secretary, but I know right now the people are having fun with the intern kick of Dot Scuff. Check throat. Did you guys get the... Why? Guys, I'm trying... Okay. I am trying to actively grow my throne back up. I'm trying to build the wish list back up. Every time I put one thing on there, you guys have been nuking it. So I've been trying desperately to find things. Like nice looking doom wheel. That yeah. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I have to dip out. Have a good day. You too. You too. Her far squeaker broke. I can't believe they censored all those government secrets that were spilling. Shh, shh. I'm truly. It was my what's it called? War Thunder. I was dropping some War Thunder military secrets. You got me. Don't you lamau me. Don't you lamau me. Don't build throne on stream. Yeah, but even when I don't build it on stream, things happen off stream. At least when I do it on stream, you guys know when I find something that it's cool. The pile must grow. I'm going to put more clothes on there, because when I put clothes on there, you guys are less likely to be silly. Warhammer stuff always makes you more silly. But thank you guys. I appreciate it. All right. All right. We're going to watch some more Dylan. This is going to be the final villain. Wow. Dylan the villain. This is going to be the final Dylan video of the cursed recipes, and then we have good recipes. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. I'm sure the final few recipes are fine.
Ma'am, no. It's just disrespectful. A crusty
What?
crusty spam bake.
I hate the word crusty and you used in a recipe. You know, like I really do. I feel like if it's a texture thing, like a fried breaded slice of Spam, it could be fine. Because again, like Spam can be good. Musubi is a really good example of Spam actually being good. I feel like maybe this could be okay. Like maybe, right? Like I could be living on copium. I could be living on copium and hopium. But maybe.
From 1965.
Right?
You guys are gonna be the end of me. To start, we're gonna need some cornflakes.
Okay, so
Promise,
far that's
I'm not
fine.
making this
If that's
up.
the crust,
In your
that's fine.
bag, you crumbs. Now we get our can of Spam and we cry. Slice into 8 pieces using a knife. Thanks for that tip.
Okay, if this is like a fried thing where it's just Spam covered in cornflakes, again, this could be fine. This could be fine.
I was in danger of using a spoon. To the cornflake crumbs, we add 2 tablespoons of brown sugar and a dash of cloves. Because why not go full manic? Drain a can of pineapple slices and brush with butter. Just another day in America. Coat the Spam slices in mustard. No,
What?
don't make... 20 minutes at 350.
Okay, so in fairness, I did have a savory dish with fruits recently. I had like a really bougie burger that was like it had brie and apricots on it, and it was like one of the best burgers I've had in a really long time. But this is something. I don't have a lot of positive things to say about it already. The tang is probably...
All right.
I'm assuming the tang from the pineapple is what kills it in the worst way. Because Spam with cornflakes doesn't sound like the end of the world. It just sounds like a textured Spam, right? Like, Spam is fine. Again, also it needs to be... Like, I think that Spam needs to be, like, seared in a pan. I don't think that baking is the play.
That ain't it. The dump cake from...
I swear it slaps me in the face from the side. I just don't expect some of these names. You guys want some dump cake? It's thicker than a bowl of oatmeal. Every fiber of my being wants to press the button. I just want you guys to know it. Just saying dump cake? Yeah, can you teach me how to make a dump cake? Sorry. Okay, anyway.
68. So post-World War II saw the invention of the cake mix, but for some Americans that...
Oh, fun thing with the cake mix thing. I learned about this. I don't know if he's going to talk about it, but I learned how, like, the stay-at-home moms and the mothers and everything, like, the mothers and the wives didn't like the Betty Crocker cake mix things because originally all you had to do was add water. And because of that, they thought it was cheating because they didn't feel they were actually baking. So they changed the way that the boxes were done, and they made it so you had to also add an egg. So they didn't feel like they were cheating. They felt like they were actually baking by doing it this way. And then they started selling really well. But they didn't sell in the beginning because of how easy it was to make them. Yeah, the powdered egg was a step too far. Is that not like the silliest little detail ever? I find it to be some of the biggest nonsense ever, and it just shows you how stupid your typical person is.
That was still too much work, and so the dump cake was invented. Let's take a dump. Directly into an oiled baking dish goes 20 ounces of pie filling. Goodbye, cherries. Then we just dump cake mix on top. This is sacrilegious, preposterous, daft. Melt a cup of butter, and you just dump that on too. Then you get to bake your dump. Golly gee.
Is it wrong to think that it's probably going to taste fine? It's just going to look weird? Right? Like, in theory, it should work. Even though it's not mixed. Like, it might be a bit clumpy. But maybe it could work.
$3.75 for 50 minutes. This is for people who hate baking, and I don't like those people. We have a done dump. It's fresh. Fresh dump.
Oh. Right?
It's an unenthusiastic cobbler.
See? Okay, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, there's nothing about this one that looks like it's going to be terrible. So it makes sense. See, it wasn't that bad. See, the recipes are turning... They're moving up. All right, we're getting better. No longer are recipes making him want to die. This is progress. This is progress.
I mean, yeah, it's all right, but it's all wrong. If you're going to bake, bake. A cake should be an occasion, not a disfigured dump on a plate. Econo meatloaf from the great...
That sounds like some shit from Fallout. Hey, you want some Econo meatloaf? No, it's gonna be terrible. I hate meatloaf to begin with. I had this conversation with family the other day where I'm like, I just think meatloaf is disgusting. I think meatloaf is actually disgusting.
Depression. Yes, this is a depression meatloaf, which happens to be what I call myself when I'm wrapped in blankets at 2 a.m. watching Netflix covered in Pop-Tart crumbs. But anyway, we start with 6 slices of bread, preferably like my dating life. Stale. Remove the crusts. If you're over the age of 6 and you still do this, good for you. Don't let anyone tell you how to eat. Move.
It's not my place to judge him with his dating life, but somehow I feel like that one has to be just the cap because I feel like he's very charismatic, and I feel like any partner would be really happy to be with him because he's a very charismatic fellow.
To a bowl, save the crusts. Add a cup of oats and a can of evaporated milk. The meat remains unseen. Perhaps it's waiting for marriage. Pepper. 2 teaspoons of salt and a teaspoon of poultry seasoning.
Okay.
I'm not sure if anyone told you, but beef is a cow. You know the mooing? Time for just a pound of ground beef. Mix thoroughly.
Okay,
This is more grain than meat. Get it. Then we add ketchup. Press in the bread crusts. Railroad track looking Union Pacific meatloaf. And finally, more ketchup. Bake this in a moderate oven for an hour.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
That is unpleasant.
That is how all meatloaf is. I don't care how much meat ratio you put in it. Meatloaf is just not good. It's just not good.
Tastes like it's saving me money. Hard times. Frog eye salad from 1968. Start by boiling a pot of water. Fire! Cook a box of vicini de pepe to al dente. You know, the other word for al dente is correct. To a new saucepan, we have a cup of sugar, dash of flour, 2 eggies, then the juice from all of this canned pineapple. You see this?
It was fine. It was fine. Why does it have to do this? Like, why do you do this? I hate it. I hate all these freaking canned fruits.
This is concern. Cook this, drain the pasta. Time to go.
The demon quiche was fine. You are just a coward, Edom. The demon quiche was fine. Like, it was fine. There was nothing about it that was that big of a deal. Just because you're afraid of pickles doesn't mean that it was that bad. You are a coward, and accept the fact that you're a goddamn coward.
Oh, we've chilled both of these down, and now we start combining. Pineapple. Why? The author calls this her comfort food. I call it a
Comfort
mistake.
food,
Pound
no.
of mandarin oranges. A tub of cool. cup of...
Ew.
Cup of marshmallows. Add salt if it needs it. It doesn't need salt, it needs help. To the fridge. I just don't understand. Yeah, so it's not good.
Yeah, no.
Frozen orange juice.
No. No. Pickles are the work of sin. How can you not like pickles? Pickles are good. Pickles are good. God. Frozen orange juice pie. Okay.
Pie from 53. Now, I've seldom heard of orange-flavored pies, likely because it's a bad idea, but Betty Crocker doesn't think so. Pastry! Hello. You were misshapen. Stop it. Then we form this to a pie dish. An 8-inch is preferable. It sure is, Betty. 8 minutes at 475. Now we dilute our frozen orange juice concentrate with just 1 can of water. What are you looking at? Into a saucepan, a cup of sugar, quarter cup cornstarch. Done. Half cup of OJ. Slowly whisking in until boiling. Fire! The yolks of 2 eggs. Temper the eggs. Get back in. After a minute, remove from heat and add 2 tablespoons of butter. Meringue? What are you doing, Betty? The 2 egg whites. Quarter cup of sugar. Stiff. Get in. So the pie's not frozen, is it, Betty? No, it was just...
The last time I did a baking stream, right? It was before I got my my stand mixer. So I had to make stiff peaks on stream from hand. And my God, let me tell you, making stiff peaks from hand or by hand is one of the worst experiences ever. It is so awful. It is so awful to do stiff peaks by hand. My goodness.
Just the orange juice. 400 for 10 minutes. Looks a bit sad.
It's probably okay.
Wow. It's an orange meringue pie with really bad oranges. No. Hardtack from the Civil War. Yes.
Okay. I'm sure you guys have seen hardtack, right? Like hardtack literally is just like super, super dried, like condensed carbs. It looks, I remember hearing stories that they had to break it down in like soup because like it was so, or they used it in barrels on chips because it just wouldn't go bad because there was just no moisture content in it.
Whether it's expeditions, famines, wars, or student debt, this is what we bake in times of crisis. We start with 2 cups of flour, half cup of water. I bet you thought
Pen,
there
you
was
like beating
more.
a lot of things
No,
by hand.
There's not. That's right. This is the most basic recipe in the history of history. Talk about stretching a dollar. This is some Standex level stretch. Oh, you're gluten-free? Sorry, all we have is gluten.
Yeah, it's
Cut
just
'em into
pure
sad
gluten,
little
right?
Squares. Time to poke some holes. You know, these kind of look like graham crackers. If graham crackers were made out of drywall. We then bake these boys at 250 for upwards of 4 hours to remove most of the moisture. And that's how these will last longer than even the most talented of men.
Yeah. Oh my
These are
God.
roof tiles. Well, this is a first. Y'all really said Ford tough.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I mean, it doesn't taste bad. It's bread. Danger bread, but bread. Now, of course, you shouldn't eat them dry, but the taste is the same.
Okay, well.
I'm broke.
Oh, okay, well, that was something, you know, that was an experience, you know, I definitely an experience. It's called hardtack for a reason. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Oh my goodness. All right, we got to figure out what we do next. Now we could wrap up. We could wrap up there. We could watch Dylan Good Recipes for a little bit, which is fine. We could watch the Drakari video. Otherwise, the Drakari video gets pushed until, or else the Drakari video gets pushed until Monday. Fun fact, this will probably hardtack and stay good for decades. There's still some left from the Civil War that's edible. I hate that. I hate that so much in every way, shape, and form. Like, honestly, that's actually horrible. I'm down for some Drakari. Okay, let me go and find the video. Did we already go into the watched one by accident? The Croc deck, whatever one is called. Here it is. Okay. Copy. Okay, this will be the last video of the day then. I'm excited for this one anyway, so it works out. Let me also tell a friend who said she wanted to see pretty ladies. Time for the trip to the best furniture store in the web. Let's go! Okay, let's do this. Ah! Okay, do this. All right. We're on the last video for the day. We're going to be finally watching a video by Crackduck, right? That's how it is. Crackduck is his name. I've not watched any of his content yet. He was heavily, heavily recommended. And we get to watch about my favorite faction. We get to learn more about the Dark Eldar. So let's go and take a trip to the best IKEA store in the galaxy.
Hi, friends. Today, we're talking about the Dark Eldar.
Yay!
Oh, wait. Hold on a second.
Oh my god!
There we go. But yeah, today we're talking about...
Is this how all of his videos go? Like, is this what I'm in for when I watch his videos? Is it like all done through Microsoft Paint? Please tell me it is. Please tell me it's all done through Microsoft Paint. I can't. Oh, that's so good. That's so good.
one of the most, if not the most, depraved elves you'll ever find on these shelves. They're also some of the most elite fighters and the most advanced
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, even his little stick figure Drakari witches are cute.
factions in the entire setting. So, if you like incredibly super edgy, horny elves, then snuggle into your crazy-ass skin blanket, grab your cup of evil juice, and let's get into it.
Juice.
Actually, a bad choice of words for these guys, but anyways... The Dark Eldar were formed with the fall of the Eldar Empire. As the Eldar were devoured by Slaanesh, only a few sects of the Eldar were able to survive. One of which were these evil little guys, the Dark Eldar. The Dark Eldar survived the Cataclysm, not by avoiding the gross degenerate ways of the Eldar, but by being such degenerates that they made their own city in the Webway to be even more
Yeah, they made their own city with blackjack and hookers, except the blackjack is torture and the hookers are, you know, living furniture. But either way, I love listening to different perspectives of like the origin story of the Drakari. It never gets tiring.
Degenerate. They dodged the biggest evil-ass god bullet of all time and were shielded from Slaanesh in the Webway. And seeing how the centuries of depraved decadence and degenerate debauchery of the Eldar had caused the birth of a literal god of excess and brought ruin to their great empire in a mere moment, the Dark Eldar took a deep look at themselves, rethought their life choices, and took a turn for the better, leading a life of altruism and good clean living as they became shining beacons of goodness in the grim darkness of the far future. Nah, just kidding. They made like a prank YouTuber, looked at the consequences and said, want to see me do it again?
Yeah.
And they did the same exact horrible shit that brought ruin to their entire species. In fact, they arguably doubled down since even in the webway the Dark Eldar souls were still getting eaten by Slaanesh. But they realized that they could refill their souls in a way by doing acts of evil and absorbing the torments of others.
Is that a car battery strapped to somebody with knives in their head? That is a wild... Huh. His art is really beautiful. I have to say, it really deserves tremendous praise.
Which, luckily for them, was already their favorite pastime, so I guess it's true what they say. Life lessons are for losers.
Yeah.
But, sage wisdom aside, the Dark Eldar are in a way getting punished for their evil doings as they are still constantly feeding Slaanesh and empowering the Dark Prince. They're just acting like
Alright. Soul gets sucked by Slaanesh because of evil depraved ways. Elf sad. Do evil depraved things to replenish soul. Elf happy. And then Soul gets sucked by Slaanesh. You know what? I want that as a shirt. I want that as like a really like obnoxiously cute tank top. I want it to be like pink with like a little bit of frill, and that I need that cycle on it.
Refilling bottomless big gulps. So they're caught up in an endless cycle of degeneracy, which is fitting for the addiction allegory of Slaanesh. Plus, in a way, they kind of inherited the thirst of Slaanesh, which fits very well thematically. But yeah, the Dark Eldar survival literally hinges on inflicting pain and torment on others, and let me tell you, they ain't complaining. The Dark Eldar might straight up be the most evil faction in the game. At least some other factions have flimsy delusions justifying their cruelty. The Dark Eldar,
we've learned the
they just kind of really like
even
it.
if it's
so,
fantasy.
in current times, the Dark Eldar have only become more and more depraved. They have a culture of treachery, sadism, narcissism, cruelty, and compassion of any kind is literally stigmatized.
This is slander, okay? They're wonderful people. They're just quirky little furniture salesmen. All right, this is propaganda against them. This is outright lies.
They primarily live in the insano, massive city of Kamara, deep in the webway. Their capital of Kamara is a conglomeration of all Dark Eldar sectors and cities linked by webway portals and is said to be the size of a solar system. But thanks to silly webway magic, its true size is immeasurable and incomprehensibly huge. In Kamara, the Dark Eldar's culture of sadistic villainy festers. And if Obi-Wan thought that Mos Eisley's jizz and zany aliens made it the worst hive of scum and villainy, well, I'd sure hate for him to see the jizz of Kamara's.
Wait. Did it say that they're called jizz whalers? Jizz is a genre of music. Jizz whalers were musicians who specialized in the genre. Maximilian Rebo were the popular jizz whalers.
First hive of scum and villainy, well, I'd sure hate for him to see the jizz of Kamara's aliens. The city is almost exclusively inhabited by evil-ass murderers, slavers, general crazies, and perhaps scariest of all, mega-rich people. Dark Eldar society has many classes from the abused and miserable slaves to the opulent and oppressive nobles. But surprisingly for such an evil-ass society, there is a decent amount of upward mobility between classes, at least for those who can kick ass. Valued above all in Dark Eldar society is combat prowess. The Dark Eldar are even more naturally athletic than the already impressive Eldar. So, of course, they're inhumanly fast, perceptive, cunning, and strong, in addition to being sadistic and vicious. Their reflexes are so great they're said to be able to dodge las shots, which, depending on how you choose to accept las guns as functioning, can range from nutty to faster than...
Canonically, is that true? Because that's like the first bit of new information that I've heard so far in this video. Because like most of this is all stuff that we already know. I did not know that they were able to dodge last shot. That is actually a wild thing. Well, then again, I might hear some of this stuff when I read Queen of Knives.
Light and possibly super nutty. However, to be fair, there is a strong argument that their perception helps them recognize a lasgun about to fire, and they dodge that, so they don't necessarily have to be faster than light, even with a literal laser lasgun.
Okay.
But also, that would still be incredibly nutty, so I guess the point is I said nutty too many times, and I'm gonna stop now. Anyways, though, Dark Eldar skin is also said to be almost translucent. However, human skin is translucent,
Sunlight's bad anyway, it's fine.
This leads me to believe that Dark Eldar have some kind of freakish, opaque skin. Ugh. Another quirk they have to differ from their craft-world cousins is that they basically have no psychers, as their psychic abilities were depleted from their souls constantly being sipped on, and using psyker powers would also risk drawing the ire of Slaanesh. But that's hardly a problem, as they have some of the most advanced weapons in the entire setting, since Eldar tech is just generally insane. Some standouts, though, are their dark light weapons, which shoot black hole energy or something, evil-ass blades, which can cut through basically anything, crazy-ass poisons, which can kill basically anything.
Crackdog puts a lot of emphasis on interesting details. The way that he expresses it's definitely a unique twist compared to the other creators I've watched.
And other evil, diabolical things, I bet. But anyways, their emphasis on combat prowess means that even slaves can ascend to the highest classes of Eldar society if they're able to kill and maim their way there. For example, one of the best, if not the best, duelist in 40k, Lilith Hesperax, was once a mere gladiator slave, and currently she has a ton of influence as the leader of the strongest witch cult, the Cult of Strife. Which,
see, it's a
pun intended,
meritocracy.
Speaking of witch
We
cults,
love
let's
meritocracy
talk
here.
about the military groups of the Dark Eldar. And since I already mentioned them, the witch cults are a female order of gladiators who dominate the pits of Kamara and are
witch
also
cults.
mostly beautiful babes, which is surprisingly relevant to their fighting style. They revel in battle and do extravagant flourishes in battle in order to torment their foes. Their fights are so spectacular that the pain of their victims is able to replenish all of the spectators' souls. The witches often fight with very light armor, if any at all, in order to maximize their speed and agility. With that, they can let out a flurry of precise and deadly strikes before most enemies can even process what happened. In addition, they utilize a number of evil-ass poisons and wicked blades. And outside of Kamara, the witch cults utilize their skills from the pits to inflict torment on their enemies across the galaxy.
Why are they killing
Witch
Tau?
cults often conduct raids and are often hired by Dark Eldar forces for their martial talents. And then, next up, the Dark Eldar cabals are essentially crime syndicates and pirate bands, often led by the nobles of Kamara called
Like Vec,
Archons.
right?
These funky fellas are the most prominent sub-faction of the
Vec
Dark
runs the
Eldar,
Cabal,
and they're
right?
the primary source of new slaves and materials as they venture into real space to conduct raids. The warriors of the Cabals are the Kabalite warriors, and are elite warriors who can equip themselves with a wide variety of weapons from the Dark Eldar's advanced arsenal. While they're more heavily armored than the witches, they still value mobility and are relatively lightly armored. Their primary weapons are splinter rifles, which are kinda like Halo Needlers in that it shoots crystal shards. However, instead of homing and exploding, the splinter rifles shoot evil-ass crystals with evil-ass neurotoxins that induce an extremely painful death in their targets. In addition, these rifles are often fitted with monomolecular blades to double as close-quarter weapons. And within their ranks, they're constantly plotting and training to overcome their superiors in order to climb the ranks through treachery and murder. So, it's essentially an army of Starscreams led by bigger Starscreams led by the Megatron. And that Megatron is the ultra-insano Lord Archon Astrobel Vect, who is one
Vect.
of the strongest and most influential dudes in the entire setting.
He's just a happy
He'll
little
probably
guy.
get
What do
his
you
own
mean?
video down the line, but some crazy things about him is he claims to have witnessed the fall of the Eldar, created Kamara himself, uses little soul-sucking Mr. Terrific balls in battle,
Has
and
soul
he rides
balls.
a little party boat called the Dais of Destruction. But TLDR, he's an insano. And then finally, of the main three, there's the Homunculi Coven. These are perhaps the most depraved of the three, which is saying a lot. These guys are essentially armies of twisted mad scientists and their horrible flesh creations. They specialize in torture and are masters of biotechnology. They take slaves and warriors and IRL kitbash them into abominations, either to act as monstrous units of battle like the Racks and Grotesques, or just for sick kicks like old Talkin' Cherry over there. Hi, I'm Cherry. As in, like a chair, not the fruit. In addition, they're also able to mend grievous wounds and even revive other Dark Eldar through cloning and soul stuff. But along with their flesh abominations, the homunculi use indebted warriors that they brought back from the dead to achieve their sickening ends. And beyond the big three, there's a number of
Okay, but I thought also the when the homunculi are worked with, I thought it was more so of a contractual thing, right? When you leave a piece of your body with them to be brought back, so you pay them, they make money off of it. More so a matter than like them doing evil, nefarious things. It was more so of a contractual like business thing.
Mercenaries and warrior cults. You got the coolest Dark Eldar ever, the Elite Incubi, and these dudes were founded by a former Striking Scorpion
Phoenix
Exarch,
Lord.
Ahura, and are the greatest warriors of the Dark Eldar and some of the best, if not the best, in the entire galaxy. They are ultra deadly shock troops and duelists who have the most rigorous and grueling training of all Eldar. To even become an Incubi, aspirants must single-handedly kill an elite aspect warrior. And most importantly, they look sick as hell.
They do.
Which, speaking of sick as hell, we have these scary-looking shift trees.
Oh, it's the mandrakes.
mandrakes. These dudes are not only scary cannibals, but they're also super cool as they have the power to hop dimensions and emerge from shadows to viciously kill their prey.
That I didn't know.
Their origin is largely unknown, but they're some of the deadliest warriors of the Dark Eldar and highly sought-out assassins. In addition to their iconic glimmer steel blades, they can also channel stolen soul energy into blasts of freezing fire, just like Ultimate Big Chill. Also, these nuttos were actually able to kill Vex. However, it's kind of hinted that he may have let them or even hired them so that he could ascend to Dark Muse, but the lore is intentionally left kind of vague there. And beyond those two, there's a ton of other mercenaries and warriors that don't really need to be mentioned here. But most interesting to me are the funny snake dudes called the Slith.
No, I've not seen the slip.
And like the Craft Worlders, the Dark Eldar generally try to avoid large-scale combat and focus on lightning raids. Their general combat doctrine is to deploy a ton of fast-moving grav vehicles and infantry. Incubi warriors will shoot hails of toxic shards, witches carve up their foes up close, and the homunculi have their abomination steam ham. Most Dark Eldar forces emphasize speed and evasiveness in order to minimize casualties. These raids strike fear in their foes, feeding the Dark Eldar souls as they also score valuable resources and slaves for further tormenting in Kamara. Some Dark Eldar warbands also seek out the strongest foes in the galaxy to face in battle or capture for their gladiatorial pits.
Fair.
And of course, for 40k, these lightning raids can often escalate into larger scale battles for cool artworks and such. Also, they've been known to help their Eldar cousins in times
I mean, they've also worked with the Harlequins too, no? Right? Because Harlequins kind of work with everybody.
of dire need, but they're usually weird crazies who the Craft Worlders try to avoid. But yeah, that's the Dark Eldar. These fellas aren't really my favorite faction, as I usually don't enjoy the crazy depraved villainy of them as much as I like the more killy and spiteful villainy of something like the World Eaters or the Black Legion. I even like the more eldritch horror of the Necrons and Nids. And obviously I love the Orcs, of course, but the Dark Eldar, they do certainly have some fun aspects. Specifically, I really like the Incubi, Witches, and Mandrakes. Plus, they look cool as
those
hell.
are like the three primary
Honestly,
things.
Aesthetically, they're just straight up one of my favorite factions. The body horror stuff isn't really my jam, but the sharp, literally and metaphorically edgy look of the Capelites and other warriors is really cool to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, space pirates are always a cool concept. But let me know what you thought about the Dark Eldar. Are they too edgy? Not edgy enough? Or do you just like hot babes? Whatever it is, let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and big thanks to the patrons who support the channel. If you want cool time-lapse drawings and other stuff, be sure to check it out. And if you're in the Kazragan tier, you'll get a cool Crack Duck sticker. And
cute.
as always, please like, comment, subscribe, and consider sharing to all your evil-ass degenerate elves. Thanks.
Okay.
Hey guys, it's your favorite character Cherry again. Thanks for watching the video and whatnot. I just hope that evil fucking vat-grown six-armed son of an artificially inseminated egg rat bastard turns me back into a person again one day.
Oh my god! What a way to end it! Oh my god, I love that. Okay, let me hang on. Let me do this. There we go. There we go. That was fun. That was fun. I love that. All right. Let me put this back on. Well, that was a good time, wasn't it? Making Dark Eldar models will draw blood. Personal experience. They are very pointy. I have quite a few. I have quite a few Drakari models. But I enjoy them. I need the mandrakes. The mandrakes I don't have yet. That's probably like the out of all the Drakari stuff, the only things that I want right now that I don't have is a Mandrake squad and Vect. I kind of want the Vect ship. Hi Zinth, how are you? An evil good time, yeah. The homunculia offered to clone the Emperor, and it's implied they could actually do it. Yeah, but it will never happen. It will never happen. Dark Eldar pirates are cool, but nothing beats orc pirates. I mean, I like Drakari. It's just my cup of tea. Fun fact, Dark Eldar, unlike regular Eldar, don't really struggle with population. At least by Eldar standards, they do the deed a lot, and there are many other ways of making new people. I have heard, and I have seen. Yes. I mean, I'm more interested in the fact that, like, a couple of things that I could take away from this video is, like, I didn't realize that Kimura was the size of a solar system with using the webway, so I'm curious to know just how big of a population the Drakari actually have. Because if they're actually, like, solar system scaled, you know, if Kimura is, like, solar system scale, then I would assume it actually is a much bigger one. I'm good, been very busy the last couple. I hope it's been a good time. I hope you had a good time with whatever you're doing. I hope it's important stuff and everything's going well. You didn't miss too much. We did 2 Skaven videos, a recipe video, and Drakari. Aside from that, we talked about how we're gonna format the Nuzlocke for YouTube. How the Nuzlocke next day is going to be tomorrow. I showed off the model that has been the culmination of what chat has created, which I can show off again. From the 2 victories you guys had on me. Was it this one? No, it wasn't this one. Hold, please. So, for anybody who was not here earlier, this is because of chat beating me. Chat beating me day 1. I had to ask my artist to make twin tails for my chibi. My chibi is supposed to be edgy, okay? It's supposed to have Drakari armor, okay? So the twin tails was for day 1 losing. The outfit was for day 2 losing. So we were trying to figure out, Zinth, what we're going to do as an offer for day 3. If I lose, because if I win, I get 72 hours off the timer. So right now, the current frontrunner is if I lose, I will have my artist change the model so that this is the default outfit. So whenever I switch to the chibi, it will always go to this until I manually change it. Which will be horrendous, but I won't lose, so it'll be fine. Dark Eldar have a whole set of solo character models called the Hand of the Akron. That includes this, the Slith Medusa, Beat Farmers, and a few others. Cool. Baboosh Katra. I mean, not this one. Day 3 kimono. Well, I can't have another outfit put in, because that takes, like, I had 3 outfits made in this commission slot, so I can't add more right now. I can do things Like, I can do other things, not necessarily to the model, but if you guys want me to do something to the model, then making it the default is probably the most potent thing I could do at the time. Otherwise, I have to go back into queue for commission, because as much as I love my model mom, she does have other commissions that she needs to do. Iron Mouse takes up a lot of her time, to be fair. It's a status symbol for a child and the mother being able to carry out a full Eldar pregnancy and not getting murdered in Kimura as a flex. Love that. Love that. Tetra won't lose? Exactly. I'll just win. I'll just win. Poor Apoc? Wait, why poor Apocalypse? What did Apocalypse do? Dark Eldar armor Tetra, I would love to see. I can show you. Hold, please. Where's my Drakari? There you go. There's my little Drakari chibi. Don't worry, Tetra won't lose. I won't. Noise goated she is. Different hair color? Oh yeah, we were watching a Drakari video, so I changed it to the witch cult colors. No maid outfit? I know. Hand of the Archon is a Kabalite kill team. Court of the Archon is set in solo cars. I have one I spent over $100 converting out of just GW tournament legal plastic. Really? That's cool. That's really cool. Wow. Which cult armor? Yeah. You know, my armor for my chibi is based off of Lady Malice, but obviously it's unique enough that it's just mine. GW, you can't come headhunting for me. Makes sense. Ka has a high class wife for our Archon. Yeah, I mean she is. She's the highest class. Maybe later this year. Oh, like another outfit for the chibi. The way that I do it is so the way that I do models is I try to alternate big projects twice a year. So we debuted my 3.0, which is this one, and all my new background and everything like that, which obviously it's a lot of money and time, but we got everything working. The next big update is 6 months from the debut, so it's going to be around June, July, where I'm getting a whole new update to this model with a new outfit. I'll probably get a new background and some more new things, some new emotes and yada, yada, yada. And then I also alternate a small update every 6 months as well, but I space those from the big updates by 3 months. So that way, every season there's an update. So, right, so we had January, or not January, sorry, the end of December for this one, right? We got this model and all this stuff in December. Late June, July, we'll have the next one for this. But by March, we'll have a chibi update, right? So we'll have all three of these chibi outfits release. And then 3 months after my debut for the new big model, I'll have more stuff for the chibi probably. I try to do stuff so that way every single quarter, you guys have an event, you guys have something new, it stands out, you will have, you know, I try to keep brain stimulated with little things. But anyway, so to conclude today, we are going to be on Twitch tomorrow. Yura should be on in the morning. She should be on at normal time at 11. I should be on, normally I would say 4. Very strong likelihood I'll be on around 2. Around 2 p.m. Eastern to start the next day of the Nuzlocke. I'm going to win. All right, I'm going to get 3 badges done again. I'm going to get 6, 7, and 8 done in the time frame that I need. So don't you worry. Yeah, that covers pretty much everything. So we're gonna wrap up. I have some editing work to do today, but I also have to build some stuff. I have to get the new bassinet for the baby built in the office, so that way she can hang out with me while I do editing and all that other good stuff. But as always, guys, I just want to thank you. Even if it's a chill, quiet day, an exciting day, a boring day, an angry day, whatever day we have, I'm always super grateful to you. I'm super grateful to every day that we get to have together. I'm grateful for this opportunity that I get to stream for you all. I know I'm redundant. I know I say it every time, but I do think that you're worth telling. Also, to everybody who's joined the Patreon in the last week or so, with all the new updates I've been putting out and the stuff for the poster, I'm really grateful. I'm super grateful to all you guys. I want to make sure that I give you guys lots of fun stuff over there, and I'm going to make sure that the poster is great before I put it up. And then also, I'll make sure to have an update for you guys with another outfit and stuff tonight on there, okay? Oh, and thank you for the congrats on 17. Yeah, we're 17K over here and 11K on Twitch. We hit 2 milestones yesterday, so really happy about that. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow on Twitch. I'll have a community post updated so you guys will know when it happens. Love and appreciate you all. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Take it easy and have a good night, okay? Bye. Wait, actually, wait. Hold on. Before we end, I need to try something. There is a chance. I need to see if I can do this. I probably can't, but I'm gonna try. Okay, hold on. Okay, wait. Come on. Yes! Okay. I think we're good. I think we're good. I think I can do it. Hold on. You have me intrigued? I mean, it's nothing crazy. It's just something that makes me happy. Just making sure that it's all good. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. When I end, we're gonna be raiding Pancreas. We gotta go and raid message. What do we want to make the message? What? I've never done a raid message on YouTube. I don't think we should make the message about feet pics. I don't think we should make the message about feet pics. We have tunneled through YouTube. Yes. That's a little cringe. Senpai noticed me. No. No. Yeah. Eldar apologists unite. Or Eldar sympathizers unite. No. I want Eldar sympathizers unite or something like that. Give me something Eldar related for it. I will wait and then we will end and go over there. I think that'll be really fun. Yeah. There we go. Waiting. I know there's a delay, so I'm waiting to see it and then I'm gonna set it up. I believe in you guys. Eldar sympathizers unite. Yes. I love it. Okay, take that. Can I just... There we go. There's your raid message, gamers. We're gonna go and raid the one and only Pancreas. Sadly, people are dipping out fast, but let's end quickly. All right, I love and appreciate you. I'll see you guys later.